Good evening, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quests and Chaos and another installment of Starter Set Summer School. We took our summer break and now we're back. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight we will be traveling into an alternate history where the war on the surface is only half the story and the shadows hide occult mysteries. Welcome to the Secret War. It's Achtung Cthulhu. But before we get into that, a little bit of business as always. There are just 2 days left on our big ol' Starter Set Summer School giveaway. We are giving away several of the TTRPG starter sets that we have played over summer school, including this one once we're done with it. I believe there's also a couple of board games. There's some fun supplementary TTRPG materials. It's a great time. You have 2 days left to enter. You get extra entries for following us on various social media, signing up on our newsletter, all those good things. And you can go to bit.ly/QNC starter to enter, or you can visit questsandchaos.com, which is honestly probably a lot easier to remember.
And like 5,000 of you do every month. So well,
hey.
or one person 5,000 times.
I mean, probably like 10% of those are me looking up things that I have to copy paste. Anyway, welcome everyone. I don't have all my usual announcements because this isn't D&D, and so we don't do all the stuff with the cards, but we still do have wonderful patrons who provide us with cards and coins and bits through their patronage. Our tavern upkeep is currently at 73%. In the last session of Star Trek, we reached a very nice 69, and so as promised, I pulled a treasure from my TTRPG treasure trove. If we get to 100% in July, which is this stream, so if we get to 100% of our tavern upkeep, by the end of this stream, we will be giving away a Tales of the Valiant starter set, and I will throw a fun treasure into that. You can vaguely see it behind Thomas and Warren. It is a game called Modern Problems Require Fantasy Solutions. It is basically the mechanics of Cards Against Humanity, except that you are presented with a modern problem, like my crush won't text me back, and you
Fireball.
Submit. Yes, Fireball, Trebuchet, pray to the elder gods in the well. You present fantasy solutions, and they are voted upon to see which fantasy solution will provide the best option. We've played it before at parties. It's very fun. So, if you want hopes of that, start dropping them coins and bits. I will explain as we go. Those will be used for the players to receive additional fortune, and for myself to gain additional threat. A totally normal mechanic that you don't need to worry about, and it's definitely not a problem for anyone. Great. Starting off, we do actually have some coins for this stream. We do have 2 coins from Cheesecake Fries. Thank you so much. To me.
Aww.
Of course.
I grabbed the wrong ones. I'll use the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to adjust a camera, don't we?
Yeah, it's a little hard to adjust for the tallest person in the room when he won't sit down.
Left side.
Yeah. That was my bad. I adjusted that camera earlier, and I was wrong. Also, no one was in the chairs yet.
I readjusted it down further.
Oh, so I was right.
You were correct. Thomas made it worse.
Anyway, thank you to the lovely Baroness who will be running the ones and zeros. Sorry, I go away for a single week and then I forget how to do anything on this stream. So let's get into a game. We are in Starter Set Summer School still, so this is full tutorial mode. We will be playing this as though we don't know what we're doing because we don't. With that said, welcome to the Secret War. July 1940. After a devastating loss in the Battle of France, the ragged remnants of the French army and the British Expeditionary Forces huddle in besieged Dunkirk, praying the line can hold while they await evacuation. When our small band of Allied resistance fighters are pulled from the front for a top-secret mission behind enemy lines, they learn that the battle between good and evil has only just begun. Hello, resistance fighters of the Allied forces. You are all currently in Dunkirk. From May to June, Dunkirk has been beset and besieged by the German forces, who has broken through the French lines and now has the city surrounded. You live in constant pelting of artillery fire and shelling, occasional strafing raids overhead, and you are all just waiting, doing your best to hold the line, to hold the city, and hoping to hear from the powers that be that an evacuation of some form, any form, will come soon, because you don't think anyone's close enough to provide backup. Currently, you are going about your daily tasks, whatever those may be, when someone you all recognize, Lieutenant Dan Atterbury, suddenly appears. You all are, doing your general equipment repairs, maybe checking your weapons, checking your kit, just the little mindless tasks that you do over and over again to try to keep yourselves focused, keep yourselves sane. Lieutenant Atterbury suddenly rolls up in a jeep with a couple of other soldiers in the back. Let me double check. With Privates Jones and Lane. Rolls up immediately and shouts, "Brett! I want that tank up and running yesterday! Where's Kelly? Where's Kelly? Damn it! Jordan! You get those lads in line. Get ready for cover. Jerry's got snipers all at the shop. Keep your heads down. Get to the tank. Get it repaired. Now!" He hops out of the driver's seat of the Jeep and motions for all of you to get in. Lane and Jones are jump out of the back and sort of hop on to hold on the sides so the four of you can climb in and sit. Let us very quickly just spin around, introduce our players, who you are player, and then what character you are playing and what their archetype is. Let's start with Ray.
Hi, everyone. It's me, your boy. My name is Ray, for those who don't know. Bay Area-based stage actor, and at least as of the past couple of months, tabletop RPG enthusiast. So really stoked to be back at the QNC studios, this time to punch Nazis. And to that end, I will be playing Micah Tiedemann. He's a German defector, and his archetype is investigator, so he's like a journalist. The pen very much is mightier than the sword in this case.
Wonderful.
Hi, folks. I'm Tiana Wren, and I'm playing. I decided, and it is Kylish.
Kylish, yes.
Kylish Cannon, who is an infiltrator.
Yeah.
I'm Warren. I will be playing Jordan Nash. At this point in, was it 1940?
Yeah.
Jordan is more salt than pepper, and has seen combat in World War I, and now is sort of just, trying to fight some Nazis in World War II.
Yeah.
Those,
that
grizzled veteran soldier.
That great war to end all wars.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we are again.
There's the second one.
I'm sure he complains about that loudly over his cups periodically.
Yeah, I was just trying to think about what he'd be doing. I'm probably not safe for work. In his downtime, yeah.
Okay.
Staring off into space and wondering why. And lastly, but never least,
I am Thomas, and I am playing Lulu Brett, the aforementioned Brett, who has to get this tank working. Lulu is a grease monkey.
yeah.
Hey, no.
So,
Easy on the stereotype.
With a lot of grease on her face from doing stuff.
that term doesn't mean that. Anyway, man, we're starting off strong, you guys. We haven't even gotten to the actual punching fascists part. But you're about to, as you all hop into this Jeep and speed off down the roads. Jones and Lane point out to you which direction you're going as you see that oh god, there are so many names, and I wrote them all down, and there's still too many that start with the same letter. You see that Atterbury basically runs over to another Jeep that was parked near you guys and waves for another crew, and they all load up so that you kind of caravan. You caravan your way out to an area where you see that the barricades are badly damaged. probably from a shelling in the night. You're guessing a shelling in the night based on the craters that dot the area around you. And you can see that there is a tank sitting motionless. A couple of the foot soldiers are sort of guarding it, question mark. They're around. Lulu, you quickly recognize, like, none of them are engineers. They can't do it. They are there just to make sure that nobody else touches it before you do. You all roll up, and Atterbury starts kind of barking out orders and pointing, sending you, Lula, to the tank, sending the rest of you to start help repairing the barricades. And so we are going to make our first rolls.
Ooh.
To see how well you're able to repair these barricades. This is a 2d20 system, so the way this works is that you automatically have 2d20s in your pool. You are going to add your attribute and then your focus or your truth or your skill, any and or all of the above depending on the situation, and that is your target number that you wish to roll under. So in this case, the book helpfully tells us this will be a coordination plus tactics roll. And several people immediately shake their heads. So I am looking at one of our NPCs who is not with the party currently because nobody chose them. Commander Kelly, who has a coordination of 9 plus tactics in army and leadership of 4. So that would make his target number a 13. He wants to roll 13 under. You want to succeed as many times as possible. Yes.
All right, so if my coordination's 10 and my tactics are 2, that would make me 12 or under is a success.
12 or under is a success.
Okay.
This has a difficulty of 1.
Oh.
It is slightly harder than a normal task, or than a given task, I'll say. Harder than breathing, not that hard for any of you guys. That means that you need only 1 success on your 2d20 in order to pass this check.
In the group, for the group.
Each of you, and the total based on what the group gets is going to determine other things, but you're each going to roll for this.
Got it.
Lula...
I do have mechanics tools.
You get to make a different check to work on repairing the tank.
Okay.
I'm double checking what it is or what they recommend, because I believe. No, I think it's actually still coordination and
engineering.
Because you are working on seeing how quickly you can repair this tank. Everybody go ahead and make me some rolls, and then depending on how well we do, we will introduce the concept of momentum.
And you said it's coordination?
Coordination and tactics.
Got it.
For the 3 of you, coordination and mechanics or engineering, whatever you have for Lula.
1 success.
1 success.
And 1 nat 20.
Oh.
Great. Nat 20, so this is a roll low system. Nat 20 means we're going to just roll one of our d6s and see if you roll a complication or not. This is not actually how this works, but I think it's fun for the first roll. So if you roll the face of Cthulhu, you get a complication. And you did. Great.
Amazing. Off to a great start.
Cool.
Hey, I love it.
That's fine, but you did get 1 success, so you have managed to successfully begin repairing the Jeep. There just might be complications later.
That's the problem. I repaired the Jeep and not the tank.
Oh, sorry, the tank. I meant the tank. You repaired the tank. Or you're on your way to repairing the tank. How did you do?
I got a 10 and a 13, so 1 pass, 1 fail.
Great. 1 pass. You are successfully getting these barricades kind of built back up.
I got a 10 and an 18, so 1 success.
1 success. Great. You are also doing fine.
I'm holding things
How
up
are you
for
doing,
him.
Got an 11 and a 17, which, based on my skills and attributes, I failed both.
You are a journalist. You are a master of words and a master of the pen, and this hammer might be mastering you today. It is not as smooth as you would like it to be. That's fine. That's fine. There were no catastrophic failures. Just some possible complications down the line.
I don't like that Cthulhu I rolled. I feel like
really
that's
ominous.
very bad.
It doesn't bode well.
I mean, I'm also
hilarious.
I'm being very nice because this is also your very first thing. Things will get both better and worse.
War is
I mean,
hell.
let's-
Let's
War
go.
is hell. Let's go.
If Lulu gets sucked into some tracks, and that's what happens.
You'll have to play Clarissa, who's the other person with mechanical skills.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do have 2 backup NPCs
Yeah.
because this is graded for 6 characters. You all take some time working on all of these barricades. Another of the engineers comes to join you, Lula, and helps on the tank. Bunch of the
Mansplains
other
it to me, and then it works.
Yeah, mansplains it to you, and you just nod and then reach over and turn his wrench so that it's facing the correct direction.
That's what it is. You were so focused on his like BS.
Every so often, you all just hit the ground as you hear a smattering of gunfire in the distance, constantly triangulating if it's getting any closer. As you spend a couple of hours, you're tired, you're sweaty. This is your life. You live in the dirt, you'll probably die there. You're finally able to place the last few sandbags from the back of the Jeep around these barricades. You've gotten some of the boarding back up. And Private Jones hauls over some of the magazines for the machine gun that is on top of the tank, which seems to be, pivoting and swiveling the way it is supposed to now. You've unjammed whatever mechanism was in there. You're taking a look at the rest of the mechanics of it. And you're just... Everybody's ready for, a hot cup of tea and maybe a chance to shut your eyes. Lieutenant Atterbury is moving down the line, checking everyone's work, when suddenly you hear the crack of a rifle and blood spatters, and he hits the ground. You hear Private Jones shout, "Jerry's here! Get to the barricade! Hold the line!" And we're going to enter our very first combat.
All right, here we go.
We're going to start very early. So the way combat works in this game is there is no true initiative order. It is just a back and forth. Anyone who watched us play Star Trek Adventures, this is the same system. So a round lasts until everybody has taken a turn. Every time one of you takes a turn, I take a turn. We're going to say that I took the first turn with my sniper who shot your lieutenant.
Nice.
So now one of you gets to react. This is an open, you can talk amongst yourselves. If somebody is like, I think I would go first and here's what I would do, that is great. And it's just a trade back and forth. I am, just for the sake of kind of seeing where things are at, I'm going to place some tokens on this map in front of us so we can kind of see where everybody is. Lula, we're going to say, is here by the tank. And then I'm going to put... Kailash, Mike, and Jordan.
We're going to be struggling with all of our names for the next 2 weeks.
Where was the lieutenant?
Lieutenant was... Sorry, I have NPCs for y'all, and I forgot to grab any of them.
Just mark X on the
Yeah.
death mark spot.
I was to say, what I will give you, here we go. Here's your mansplaining buddy. We're gonna say Jones and Lane are kind of around here. I don't have a good just like dead guy marker. That would be super handy. We can use Alex for now because he's not in this fight. We're gonna say that he was heading this way to check your work, so he was right near approaching you guys.
Awesome.
And we are at the repaired barricade or slightly reinforced barricade.
Because we got 2 out of 3 successes, it is not fully repaired. It is slightly reinforced. It is not going to provide you full cover.
Got it.
Where did the shot come from? Where is the entry-exit wound?
You're gonna guess that... Hang on, I have to look at my zones. Based on entry-exit wounds, it came from this side of the map.
The tree line. if you
tree
The
line.
tree line, one might say. You're pretty sure that the reason why they were able to get the lieutenant was because he was crossing the open
The open
section.
area. Yeah.
And they got a really lucky shot. I took the first action with my sniper. What would you all like to do? A little bit of better painting the scene. If anybody's watching this for like hardcore World War II battle tactics, wrong stream. I am here for storytelling, but I will do my best. But to give you a little bit of context, each of you will on your sheets have some sort of weapon or weapons listed, so you know that is just generally what you are carrying. There is, in fact, if I can find it, there is a machine gun on the tank.
Yeah.
There it is. Yes, there is a machine gun on the tank, which seems to be functional. You're not sure if the tank is drivable yet, but the machine gun should conceptually be functional. You also know that there is a cannon that is currently out of commission. If Lula wants to try to repair the cannon on the tank.
Jordan is going to hit the deck and
Hell yeah.
equip the telescopic sight of his Garand rifle
Ooh.
and just find the smallest pinhole to examine the tree line and wait for the next inevitable shots.
Great. So minor action, hit the deck. Major action, equip your scope. It sounds
Wait.
like.
Is that my action?
That's so you get a minor and a major. Does it have a cheat sheet on here?
Is
on
your
the back
scope
is
not
major action.
always
It might be
equipped?
equipped. It might be equipped.
It might be equipped then. So then your minor action.
I'm going to hold my action of firing until I know where I'm aiming.
Well, there is no holding an action. There's just waiting until the next round. You could aim.
There-
You can use this turn to aiming is a minor action, so technically you can aim and attack in the same turn. I'm looking at one of things. What you probably want to do is go prone. That's your hitting the deck.
Yeah,
And then
that's-
for your next turn, you will aim and fire.
Okay, I
As
will
your
definitely go prone and
Yeah.
yeah.
The nice thing about not having my DM screen is that I can just keep spreading into the camera space. And no one can do anything about it. Look, ideally, I need like side wings for all of my.
So Lulu would love to go next because Lulu's going to try and fix the cannon
Great.
because fighting is not her
So it's a
specialty.
back and forth. So first, mine is going to take a turn, but you can.
It's a one. It's a one.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a back and forth. Yeah, this is not like all the enemies go in one go. They each keep getting turns. But my major minor actions work a little bit differently. So what you guys are gonna see is they're all gonna just move, and you're gonna see
Yeah.
some of our guys that do not have long range weapons like the sniper, or do not have as long of range. There are technically ranges. We're using simple ranges. They are at long range from you guys. So in order to be able to successfully hit them, you're probably going to need a weapon that has long range, or you're going to have to maybe roll at penalty to succeed. But
Does equipping a telescope give my weapon long range?
I believe that is its purpose. It would really help. You know, I have your guys' character sheets. I can double check. You would think they would be in. I think. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Yeah. You are a sharpshooter. That is one of your talents. Oh yeah. So you get a free bonus die when you aim, which you'll be doing on your next turn. And you are on your Garand range with a telescopic sight.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that takes it up to long range. That's not how it's listed, but I think that's way more interesting if that gives you better range.
The
I
art
think it
would
would
have you believe.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think what it really is that's the free D20 on your aim is what the sight is. So I would let you try to fire at long range. That just the difficulty might be higher. You know, like in real life when you're trying to hit things that are moving and further away.
True.
Like when you're trying to hit things that are moving and further away.
That's true. I am not as good with firearms as probably other people at this table are.
No comment.
So I have taken my turn. my
Thomas,
guys,
you wanna
my
do-
guys are preparing things.
Actually, I'm
So.
re-looking over this character sheet for the first time. Re-looking over it. I'm looking over this character sheet.
We are truly playing this as a fresh out of the box game, so don't worry, there will be narrative things, but we're also just learning mechanics as we go. Play along with us.
Because I am a combat gunner, I may use my vehicle skill when fighting when making an attack with a weapon mounted on a vehicle. And I was repairing the machine gun. I'm going to try and get into position to use the machine gun this round.
Okay. Double checking.
What is combat?
It sounds like it's a minor and a major action, so your minor action would probably be something like move and then shoot with the major action? Question mark.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't know that there was a backside.
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
cheat sheet.
On the back side of the cheat sheet, it'll show you your
Yeah.
minor and your major actions. You get one minor and one major
Okay.
action per. You don't always have to take both. I will say, since you were already kind of in and on the tank, and I have established that the cannon is what is mounted to the tank, that is still being repaired, but I'm also saying that the machine gun, it's the freestanding kind that you carry out and set up in the field, and it was set up on the tank to defend the busted tank
Got it.
while you're waiting to repair it, right? So I'm giving tank people access to both of those guns.
Nice.
I will say that if you want to use this turn to aim and shoot. This is another thing I should have made photocopies of, or it would have been helpful to have cards for. Because I have the stats for your machine gun.
Nice. I also, just looking over the major actions, ready is a major action.
Ready is a major action if you want to. Yeah, yes, I guess that is the equivalent of holding your action if you want to define a trigger, but not take your action immediately. So, yeah, I'm gonna say that you're already there. So if you would like to use your minor action, I don't know why you would want to aim with a machine gun, because realistically, what you want to do is splatter fire, but because it is an area effect, it is a salvo. But you can take the attack.
I am actually going to try and repair the cannon instead.
Okay, great. I'm double checking if it has any specifics. Coordination and engineering.
Okay.
You're not gonna fail twice.
One or two dice? Two dice?
It is always 2 dice, but let's also introduce quickly the concept of momentum. You guys can earn momentum. Momentum allows you to buy additional die and do a bunch of other cool things. The way that you earn momentum is by succeeding more times on your dice than whatever the level of the thing is. You guys have not earned any momentum yet. However, there is another way that you can earn momentum, which is by granting me threat. Basically, what you say is, I want to roll 3 dice for this. I don't have any momentum, so I will buy it with threat, and then I get get 1 threat. I get 2 threat for each of you, because you exist. And then you can buy it with 1 threat. I add that to my threat pool. I can use the threat to make things more difficult. So it's basically I get to raise the DC, to put it in the D&D terms.
Okay, I'm going to try and repair this as normal.
Okay. Great.
Nice.
1 success, 1 fail.
1 success. Okay. You do not get any momentum, but you do repair the cannon.
Ooh. And then I shout out, I repair the cannon.
Right.
I'm prone and hidden. Don't look at me.
Hey, you down there in the dirt.
Cool. One of my guys is, because they're all a little bit closer in place, one of my guys is going to actually, what guns do you have? Do you have long range? You don't have long range. You got to get closer. That sucks for me personally. This guy is going to run up and kind of try to use the edge of this crater as some vague semblance of cover. That is his movement. And then he is going to fire off a shot at who did I say that one was? At Lane, because Lane is the easiest shot from where he is. And he is going to miss. lucky for Lane.
I'd like to go next and use my scout ability, where at the top of the action I can ask a question for free, as if I spent momentum to obtain information.
Great.
We know there's one sniper. I want to scan the tree line to see if I see the glint of a scope of another one.
So what is your question? Is there a second sniper?
Is there a second sniper, or more than two?
Based on your knowledge of how these troops have been behaving and what's been happening since you guys have all been kind of cornered here, you are pretty sure there's probably only one. And you're not even sure that and you are also, for free, this is technically answering a second question, the sniper's not going to get any closer.
Okay.
Like, he's a sniper. He's going to stay long range.
That makes sense.
Great.
Then I will... I don't know if that counts. I don't know if spending momentum is an action.
Spending momentum is something that you do in conjunction, since that is your specialty scout skill. I'm saying that is not your major action.
Okay.
That is a momentum.
Cool. I basically just want to like crouch and get low and get my my submachine gun ready for when the people get closer.
So you're gonna go prone and draw item.
Yes.
Great. Sorry, I'm using the technical terms for anybody who's following along, but also to help, because we're all learning how this works. I realized I need to count out my piles of things. I have all these fun little tokens. This is a really great starter set as far as having all the things you need for like your tracking of things like threat and momentum. My one complaint, which we will get into later in the game, is that I wish they included the handouts. I also now am kind of wishing that there were cards for the fun items like your machine guns and things.
Sure.
But that's okay. Great. My next guy is going to run up. Hide behind this car. Or sort of hide behind this car. And he is going to pop a shot at Mike, because you're standing up. And Lane already got shot at. So on principle, I have to shoot at somebody else for fun.
For fun and profit.
For fun and profit.
And death.
Well.
And death.
Is one of the major actions call an ancient god to help you?
You didn't pick that character, so no. There is a character that can do combat magic. They are not on the board right now.
Cthulhu's going to run out in the middle of the field.
Sorry, I have to double check. Sorry, this is me remembering how stress works. As far as how many dice I roll for stress in this circumstance.
Did you fail your attack?
I succeeded my attack, so I get to shoot Mike. Look, it's much more dramatic when it's NPC. Sorry, I have so many tabs.
So the stress is for Mike.
Yes. So the way this works, this is instead of like HP, what you have is stress, and a certain number of stress inflicts an injury, and a certain number of injury inflicts death.
Nice.
For example, I do remember off the top of my head, our little normie foot soldiers here can take up to 5 stress. 5 stress equals 1 injury. They are normal human dudes that do normal human things. 1 injury equals death.
Oof.
That's just how it goes. Where it would also help if everything wasn't the tiniest in the world. Still number indicated by the weapon. So I just need to find which weapons you have. Hey, buddies. Great. You're going to take 2 stress.
Woo!
As you get clipped by this infantryman. And there is a complication. What do you think complicates this situation?
What do I think complicates
What do you think
the
complicates
situation?
the situation? I rolled a complication, so it is a complication that affects me. What do you think happens? I get my shot off. I wing you. What happens?
You wing me, and then... So just to kind of establish Micah's backstory, he's a German defector, right?
Yeah.
And he definitely looks it. I think what the Wehrmacht soldier sees is like one of his fellow countrymen fighting for the Allies, and he's just, was ist that?
You get clipped, you turn and look, and he just suddenly gets this like very startled look and doesn't remember to duck behind the car as well as he could because he's very startled and questioning if he shot one of his own guys who had gotten in closer than he did faster.
Yeah.
Great. These guys are all uniform blind, apparently. It's fine.
I mean, we've all been rolling in the dirt.
That is your turn.
Yes, it is. All right. So, what qualifies as close range? Because I think what Micah wants to do is like get into range. He's only packing close range weapons, is the thing.
Yes. Close range is. I'm writing utensils either. Just along here. So close range, basically from where Private Lane is, that is about the line for close range. Close range, medium range goes to about here, and then long range is just in front of the tree line.
All right. So having been winged by again German soldier, right? Mm-hmm. Micah's mad. You know, he didn't move his family out of Berlin just for this shit. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and, as his minor action, he's going to move to the opposite end of that burnt-out car husk over there.
Totally.
So he gets into range with... Now, it says a Sten Mark V, which is technically anachronistic in 1940. So I'm going to say he's...
There it is.
There it is, right?
Somebody had to do
Somebody
it.
had to do it. So I'm going to say he's actually packing a Thompson, Lend-Lease.
As long as it has the same stats as whatever's on your page.
Stats. Yeah. Well, actually, technically speaking, never mind.
I will shove you out of this.
And what he's going to do, he's going to take his Tommy gun and he's just going to go ahead and spray the guy who tried to wing him. So, that is a fighting and coordination, according to the rules.
Yes, it is.
Which is still not great, because again, pen, mightier, sword, etc.
Well, you're going to have many opportunities to put that to the test, aren't you?
Well, if you survive, you can use those skills.
Very good. Haha! Meets it, right?
Correct.
2 successes.
Nice.
2 successes. Wonderful. Your weapon is 6 threat. So if you want to use these guys,
Oh, okay.
you can. Or I can tell you how to read regular d6s for it.
You said 6 of these fellas?
You need 6 of them.
Oh,
I only have
jeez.
4. So
Okay.
if you want to roll them all at once, then we will have to also do numbers.
Let's not do numbers here. I'll do 4 and 2.
Numbers. Get out of here.
How would you know? You've got a cart full of dice already in there. Sorry, my OCD is going absolutely crazy.
I've never understood how people can roll like that, but...
All right, blank, blank, and then damage and double damage.
Okay, so that's 3 stress so far.
Mhm.
Okay, now roll 2 more.
We roll these blanks. Remember, we had 2 blanks. And then damage, and then Cthulhu.
Great. So you do 4 stress to this guy. You hit him much more square on in the shoulder, and he looks deeply wounded. What's the complication? This one affects you.
This one affects me.
Yeah.
Again, Mike is not. He's not a fighter. He's a journalist. He's a lot of things. He's a husband. He's a refugee. He's a former boxer, right? Huge Jack Dempsey fan. But he's not used to shooting at people, right? He's used to shooting at like people from afar to suppress them and like duck their heads down. But when it comes to the action of committing to ending a human life,
Literally being 1 car length away from one of your fellow countrymen.
right?
And firing. Okay, great.
And also the 1928 Thompson of this era is just terribly like the recoil is just heavy.
Yeah. Cool. We're gonna say that is going to up the difficulty of the next shot you try to make as you're dealing with both the psychological and physical repercussions of firing that gun. That will be your complication. We are back around to the top of the round. The fun thing that happens at the top of this round, I'm gonna actually swap this out. There's a dead body on here. Just roll with that.
Okay.
There might be several dead bodies. There's a bunch of other fighting that's happening that we are not tracking because it's the other pods of your friends who like ran down to take down the second group of Germans that are on the other side, right? Don't worry about it. What happens at the top of this round, if I can find all of my Lost Forever. There should be another one. What happens here is a bunch of your compatriots start sweeping in from this side. Another group of Allied forces was apparently nearby, heard the gunfire, and is running up. So you are going to now have backup.
Sweet.
It is supposed to be your other two party members. I rearranged the order of who is with who in the party so that the four of you could all be together. But it does include Alex Kelly, who you all know as Hellgate. He's a very angry Irishman with a black cat and a bad temper. And Clarissa, who is one of your medics. And
Knows everything.
She does like to explain it all.
I understood that reference.
I can't find her token, but pretend she's over here with Alex.
Okay.
She'll turn up eventually. I have too many things on this side. I don't even have the screen, and everything's still getting lost. Great. That is the top of this round. I go at the top, which isn't normally going to be. So normally I will always let you guys go first, but because I have a sniper, my sniper's always going to go first. And my sniper is going to try to shoot. Let's see who's like vaguely saying. Sniper's going to try to shoot somebody standing on the tank and miss. Bullet whizzes directly between you and your mansplaining friend. Private Jones from over on the wall just goes, "Oi! Down! Get down!" Looks at you guys a little bit like, "Come on."
I must know where that shot came from now. I was looking for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Trading
it's...
sniper fire.
Yeah.
Again, we're being really technical. You do not have long range. You have medium range. You're probably not going to be able to hit the sniper.
What's the DC?
It is... that is going to be a difficulty 4.
Okay.
Which means you need 4 successes in order to achieve it. So
I'm already aiming, which gave me a...
aiming gives you a free one.
If I use this minor action to aim again, do I get 4?
You cannot aim twice. You only have one gun.
I'm aiming and I'm dialing.
You can purchase a 4th by giving me more threat. Because you guys don't have momentum yet.
Again, one of us is...
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I think I might go ahead and introduce Fortune. I was going to save it for later, but I think maybe... Let me see if that's going to... I'm in the wrong... Sorry, I have to pull up the other...
So many tabs.
Document. Fortune. Every agent begins with 3 fortune, I believe, according to the basic rules. Yes, you begin with 3 fortune. You can never have more than 5. In this case, I think you guys probably tap out at 3 because that's what's on your character sheet. Let me see what you can do. Fortune is a little bit different from momentum. Momentum replenishes with the way that you roll. Fortune replenishes... you may spend 1 fortune per non-combat scene and 1 point of fortune per round in combat, and it replenishes differently. You may spend it before a skill test to set a single d20 to automatically roll a 1, which is 2 successes. You may use it for a reroll. This is the function that we will use for we're going to use these as fortune. Speaking of which, Houston the Zorf did provide 1 point of fortune to the players. I'm going to toss it to you since you were talking on your turn. You may use it to take an additional major action. You may use it to avoid defeat. If you are defeated, you may use it to return from defeat. Or you can use it to make it happen. Make it happen is a mechanic by which you can introduce a new fact or detail about the current situation, which will take the form of a truth. A truth, there are things, I'm going to use Alex's because his character she's on top. So, like, Alex has the truth, Irish dreamer. Which means that anything relating to the fact that he's an Irish resistance fighter and he has all of this experience in dealing with the repression of the Irish by the English and all those kinds of things, anything that you can argue like that would give him some additional bonuses with can earn him bonuses. Jordan Ash has the truth, experienced soldier. So combat situations, he's going to automatically have an easier time doing things because he has seen some shit, etc. So those are the ways in which you can use fortune. You don't have as much of it. It takes longer to replenish.
Okay, I've got 3.
Yep.
If I want to risk it and give you stress, I get an extra D4.
You can give me threat to get an extra D4.
I would need to roll under 15 for all 4.
Correct. I will say, if you want to buy that with threat, which I think is a good idea, I am also going to go ahead and recommend that you should burn one of your fortune to automatically make one of those 4 a 1, which is 2 successes, because then you have some buffer.
I have to do that before I figure out what I roll?
You have to do it before, but that basically means that you take one of those and automatically turn it to a 1 and set it in, and then just roll your others.
And I still roll the 3?
Yeah, but that gives you the total of 4. But that gives you 5 chances to get 4 successes without having to give me more threat. Or more threat than you already have.
So is this a fortune that I just got from our
Yes.
grateful viewer? All right.
But you also have the 3 that are on your sheet. So you can hang on to that coin
Yeah,
those
in
are-
the pool.
Those are there.
Everybody gets 3. Anything that you get from the viewers are extras. Oh,
Thank you for your contribution.
and from Red Dead Coquette.
Oh, hey.
Hang, are you burning that now?
Yep.
Great. And from Red Dead Coquette, another fortune for the pool.
All right, 2 successes right there.
Nice.
Great.
And now into the tree line we go. That's a success,
Hell yeah.
baby.
Let's go.
5.
You got 5 successes?
That's momentum, isn't it?
That means you earn a momentum. I'm going to put this here because that's part of that. Like the fortune
Okay.
bits that you get from viewers is going to be a pool. Great. I have more threat. However, despite the fact that you do not have the correct weapon for this, you just
What are you talking about?
take a breath.
What are you talking about?
You feel your heartbeat.
And I say, Avita Zane, asshole.
You pull the trigger, and you see the glint of a sniper's sight flick off into the distance as you somehow miraculously snipe a sniper with a normal rifle.
Jordan Ash doesn't wait for miracles. This was absolutely the experience of a trained, grizzled old man. That's right. Tired of fucking Nazis.
Jordan's fucking scary, guys. In case you're wondering, Jordan is 100% done with this shit. He already fought these guys once, and he does not want to have to do it again.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wonderful turn. Wonderful chance to introduce a whole bunch of mechanics. Great. Wonderful. Beautiful. My turn. I have some very startled infantry guys who just watched their sniper get sniped. That's a good time. I think somebody's gonna take a shot at let's see where that. He's gonna take a shot at dude who just shot his sniper. I'm using threat to buy more dice. I mean, so if you see me throw things into my tray, that's me buying dice for myself. Great. Cool. That's awful. Can I please have all of those?
Yes. There we go.
He rolled very good.
Oh, dear.
Oh, jeez.
You are going to take 2 stress as you get clipped in, we're going to say the butt, because you're prone. You got some booty on you, and it catches that bullet.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, wow.
But I also rolled a complication. What doesn't go quite as planned for my guy as he shoots you?
Fear. He sees the scope trained on him now.
Great. He is gonna have some equivalent disadvantage next time he tries to shoot anybody. Cool. Who's next?
You're up close.
I am up close. I think Mike is gonna try and finish the job.
Great.
But instead he's gonna use something a little more familiar. He also has a luger that he probably stole off a dead SS officer or something. I don't
Sounds
know.
correct.
Seems right.
So he whips it out and he takes aim. Now would be a good time to say Auf Wiedersehen, Kameraden. Oh, wait, 2.
You can give me more threat. I'll just have you take more threat.
Don't mind me. I'm reading something.
I'm going to purchase a 1d20 with a threat.
Ooh, we trading threat back and forth.
Yes, we are.
Spicy.
Yeah, we're making this interesting, right?
We didn't do any threat, basically, in Star Trek. We did it all with momentum.
No,
So.
we didn't. All right. And again, my coordinates are 10. 2 successes, 1 failure.
2 successes, 1 failure. Great. That is another momentum. You'll need 1 success to shoot this guy.
Oh, sweet.
Because you're hitting the guy that you are.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Great. Cool. Go ahead and roll. However, I think it's 6 for that.
No, I believe it's 5.
Or is it 5? Oh, because you switch. Yeah,
Pistol,
because you
yeah.
switched to the pistol.
I see. Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to read the character sheet.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask questions on your turn if you need.
Yeah.
It's in English. That threw me off at first.
You know,
It's not the first language for some of these characters.
Complication and 1 damage. And then...
He is gone.
Oh, he's gone?
He only had 1 stress left that he could take. He now has full injury. You walk up, you fire, and he goes down.
Deutschland über alles, motherfucker. And he just blows him away.
That is it that you all know one English word. It is all motherfucker.
there's no word that's quite like fuck.
Yeah, this Starter Set Summer School is rated R because war. Sorry, not sorry. Great.
Declan, go to bed.
Yeah, Rowan, go to bed.
Yep. You beat me to it.
I was to say, I only know like 3 kids, but I can name them all and name them.
Zev, go to bed.
Yeah, that's the last one that I was going to do. Great. Cool. One of them off the board. My turn. My other guy who is up close is... No, he already went because he shot you. One of these guys is going to run up towards where his dead friend was and is going to take another shot at you and succeed.
Yep.
So...
There's a lot of 1s happening over there.
A lot of 1s happening in that box over there.
I haven't rolled a single 1. I just rolled a
okay.
lot of single digits.
Yeah.
Which is still successful for me.
Yeah.
You're going to take 3 stress.
3 stress. Okay.
Thankfully, you guys have a higher stress threshold than my guys do.
Yes, we do.
Because
Otherwise-
you're PCs. So you can take 2 bullets before you go down instead of 1. But I did roll 2 complications.
Oh.
So he rolls up. He does manage to successfully shoot you. It hurts.
Yeah.
Like a biscuit. It's bad. And, but he also runs up and decides to, I'm going to say, waste some unnecessary time despite the shouting of his comrades in the back who are like, you know, like telling him to stop, whatever. He is going to try to kind of drop stuff and grab his dead companion and start trying to like haul the body and get him out of there. Maybe not realizing that he's dead yet, trying to like get him out of the way. So he is gonna be starting to head this way, but he no longer has his weapon at the ready. Cause sometimes we make bad choices with our complications. Kailash or Lula?
I think seeing that, I want to bounce up and can I get up to right in front of where Micah is? How do you pronounce the name?
I'm saying it Mike. Because I think
Mike.
it's just Mike or Micah.
Micah.
Micah?
Micah Tiedemann.
Micah?
If you think it's Mika, then you're in the movie Euro Trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, apparently.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yes, Micah.
There's a 6-year-old Nazi in that movie.
Yes, you can run up to where, to about where Mike is.
Excellent. And
You are not going to be able to take cover.
that's fine. Because I mean,
Unless you're behind him.
well, the person that I'm looking at the moment has dropped his weapon, and I'm on the other side of a car from another person.
Yeah, I mean, you've got cover from this guy and maybe a little bit from this guy.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to like actively duck behind the car.
That's fine.
Great.
But I do want to I'm pulling up the submachine gun as I'm running, and we'll shoot at this guy.
To say, I think you already had it out, so you don't even. If you want to use this to aim, you can use it your minor action to aim.
I'm using my minor action to move in order to
Movement is movement. Isn't it?
No,
Minor action is
minor
move.
action is
Oh,
move.
minor action is move. Great.
I mean, I will happily aim
no,
as well if
no,
you let
no.
me.
You can. No, you are moving.
I wasn't saying.
Some things are the same, and some things are slightly different.
I am trying to play this correctly.
Yeah, I'm just juggling a lot more stats than you guys.
You have
Go
way
ahead
more going on.
and shoot your gun. Are you adding anything fun and spicy, or are you just gonna take a straight shot?
I don't know if I'm able. No, I'm just going to take a straight shot.
Okay, great.
I don't want to overthink this right now. So that's a 10 and a 14, and for shooting, I don't know what that is.
Shooting, I believe,
Coordination
is
and fighting.
coordination and fighting.
Coordination, fighting. So that is a 12 for me. So that is 1 success, 1 failure.
Great. So that is 1 success. So I have made all of these difficult. Just to be clear, I have made all of these a difficulty 1. The difficulty is how many times you have to succeed in order to get this. Shooting a dude is difficulty in this fight is difficulty 1 because you're all in an even playing field. It's the difficulty of you have to be able to pull a trigger, which is hard because pulling a trigger is hard, whether that's physically or psychologically. You shoot the guy. Go ahead and roll me whatever is appropriate for the weapon that you are firing.
I'm using my submachine gun, which is 6. That is 2 complications and a damage, and
It is not damage, it is stress. I'm going to keep saying this.
wow, that is a lot of complications.
Okay.
That was 2 more complications.
Okay. Any more stress?
No,
Okay. Just checking the math.
just 1.
Great. Great. He will take, what's this? You clip him? 3 complications. How bad does this go for you? I think your gun jams.
I think my gun jams. So
It's like with 3, I think your gun jams.
Exactly the same. I think I'll need to spend my major action next round in order to clear it.
Yeah, you're either going to have to ditch it for another weapon if you have one, or you're going to have to spend your entire next turn trying to fix it. Great. My guy who's still in the tree line is going to move up just enough to be in range of you guys and is going to shoot at Kailash. He is going to succeed. That is 5 stress.
Youch. See if I ever save your ass again.
For anyone who's ever complained that combat isn't deadly enough,
Yeah.
Achtung Cthulhu, everybody. We're also just rolling really well on the stress collectively compared to the last game that we did this with. Great.
I think the Star Trek knows that the dice just know that you're not supposed to hurt people.
We tried, man. Great.
Lulu hops in the tank, and you hear
Oh, yeah.
towards that guy by the crater over there.
That guy? Yeah.
Make another crater.
Yeah. And
Cool.
I will
So-
shoot a cannon.
This is a 37mm cannon. It is a vehicle weapon. It is a medium range, so you're pushing the boundaries, but it's also a cannon, so there's going to be probably splash damage regardless. This is a 7 stress weapon, so if you succeed,
Yes.
you get to roll 7 of those bad boys. I'm just looking to see if there's any other fun information that you get to know. This is cumbersome, escalation, and giant killer, which means it is hard to move, although you have the skills to do it. It will escalate the situation drastically because you're now firing a cannon. And if these guys were like huge otherworldly entities, this would work against them. That's not really a problem here, but just for future reference. Go ahead, and you get to roll...
Vehicles plus coordination. Right.
Yes. Yeah, you get to use your vehicle skill for this because you're in a tank. Do you want to give me any threat? Do you want to use a momentum to buy an additional?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely give that guy threat.
Yeah, do it.
Do you want to do threat or momentum? So to be
Do you
clear,
want threat? Do you want to give her threat?
I think we want to.
if you're doing threat, it means I get to make my things more difficult later. If you're using momentum, it just means you get a bonus.
We get to keep momentum through engagements, right?
Anytime you succeed over the level of the difficulty, you will earn back momentum. You don't earn back fortune. That's like a long rest type situation. You do earn back momentum just by rolling good.
No, I mean,
So it's like
the next
you should
combat,
burn that resource.
Okay.
Momentum is the burnable resource because it is the replenisher.
That will disappear after this battle.
You know, I'll just go regular.
We'll keep going. You just go right okay. No, momentum carries through.
2 successes.
2 successes. Amazing. You get to roll 7 of these bad boys.
Ow.
To try to blow this guy off the planet, and you earned another momentum.
Nice.
3 stress, 2 Cthulhu.
Okay. I think we've just decided it's called a Cthulhu.
3 and 3. So just 3 stress, 3 Cthulhu.
Great. How does this complicate this situation? What is the complication that occurs? What is the big complication that occurs with 3 complications?
Well, I'm just gonna. I mean, this cannon's broke again.
You get one
One
good shot
shot
off,
and
and
that's
then
it.
you immediately hear the thunk, and you're like, God damn it. Your buddy did not secure the thing down that he said he definitely secured down, and now you're going to have to spend a turn repairing it to use this again. Cool. This fight's going great, everybody. It's going exactly as quickly and efficiently as I thought it would, and you guys are definitely not going to die in the opening combat that teaches you how to play the show. It's fine.
You know, that would certainly be a way to learn.
You did absolutely wreck this guy's day. I'm gonna say with the combination of the stress, the cannon, the complications, or whatever, you shattered his foot. So he's still up, but like he's not gonna be moving anywhere anytime soon. He's screaming in a lot of expletives that even if you don't speak fluent German, you probably know what they mean by this point in the war. Great. That was all of you. I started the round. Back to the top of the round. I'm going to roll really quickly for the other fight that is going on, or like the rest of the folks around you. I've not been rolling for Lane and Jones, and I probably should have been. Great. Everybody else on your team suddenly gets off really good volleys of shots and takes down a bunch of folks.
Neat.
Lane and Jones are shockingly good shots. Like, you've always thought they were just kind of like, oh, you guys are like the comic relief British guys. They're shockingly serious and good at this. I have to double check a quick thing. Double check. Great. Okay. It's like there's so many read boxes. You guys see that most of the Germans are starting to scatter back. You really kind of just have these last couple of guys that you need to deal with. We're gonna go into one more round. As speedily as possible. My sniper is gone, so that's a bummer for me. I still get the first turn of the round. Crater guy is going to fire kind of wildly back in that direction. He doesn't have good line of sight on anybody, though, and he's badly injured, and he fails. Who wants to go next?
Can I see the guy trying to pull his friend back?
If you stood up, you would be able to see.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Because you've established that you're like on the ground doing like push-up. I'm gonna say if you want to do a more difficult shot, you could try to shoot him under the car. You can stand up and have a difficulty 1 because it's like a more normal, or you can take a difficulty 2 to try to shoot him under the car.
I'm trying to think of like if I'm in the street, cars coming towards me, I can kind of like see through the driver's window behind it a little bit.
You're on the ground. He's standing up.
Yeah.
You would have to go under. You can't see through the driver's window to see him because he's a full car behind you.
Who can I see?
You can see Crater Guy.
All right, Crater Guy, time to cure all your ills.
And so far, I think everybody... Guy in the back might not be hurt, but I think the other two are extremely hurt.
Yeah, Crater Guy's getting one.
Crater Guy's getting it? Cool.
So
Roll 'em up.
it's 2.
That's 2.
Or if I aim, I get a third, yes? Because that's a minor action.
Minor action aim, you re-roll 1d20 when you make an attack this turn. I believe you have an ability that just buys you a free third. You have sharpshooter.
Our sharpshooter, crack one shot, you take
If you take aim, your first bonus d20 is free. So you get to roll 3. Third one's just free because if you aim. And because you're aiming, I don't know if we've been doing this, when you aim, once you roll yours, you can re-roll 1d20 if you so choose.
All right.
Okay.
I will re-roll that d20.
Yeah.
Fuck off. All right. Okay, so 2 successes, 1 fail.
Great. Did you stand and shoot, or did you shot under?
So I shoot at crater guys. So
Oh, sorry, you shoot.
stayed
That's
prone.
right. You're right. So yeah, normal difficulty. So you earn a momentum because he was only a difficulty 1, and roll your damage.
How many?
However many is appropriate to your weapon. It's whatever the number with the little
It's
Cthulhu
5.
face symbol is. Yeah.
So I roll it 4 times, then 1 more.
Just roll 4 of them and then re-roll 1. So
So
what
I
did
got
you get?
2 Cthulhus and then 2 blank guys.
Great. Re-roll 1 of those blanks to make your 5th.
3rd blank.
Great. What's the complication that ensues?
How long does the complication last? Just a turn?
Depends on how many. Like, you got 2 complications, so it's a rough complication. This is narrative. Complications are narrative. We've been we've been saying on like 3 complications. We've been having like guns jam and things like that are going to waste a turn to repair. But it's kind of just narrative. Like what is the thing that you think screws up for you?
I didn't realize this before I shot, but I clenched my butt cheeks before I fired. And it really hurt before I pulled the trigger.
Sure, it throws off your aim. You
Yeah.
just go for your automatic like deep breath, and then you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Lucky fucking German.
Great. Cool. I rolled to see if guy who is trying to drag his friend away is able to get his drop him and get his gun back spun around, and he did not succeed on that. Who's next?
I'm gonna repair this gun again.
Great. Believe that's coordination and engineering, or Mechanics,
2
whatever.
successes.
2 successes.
This time you bolt it down correctly.
You look Mansplainer dead in the eyes as you crank down the bolt. And he just sort of just like puts a hand up like, sorry. And whips out a pistol to provide cover fire while you repair the cannon. It will be ready to shoot on the next round if you get to that. I will give you a momentum.
There you go.
I have severely lowered the difficulty of how hard it's supposed to be to repair this tank because I looked at
that's why I'm
that and
not
was
worried
like,
about
that's
the momentum.
insane for the first combat. It's not that hard first time around. That's for later. Great. Who's next?
Aren't you?
I just rolled for my guy.
Oh, I didn't.
I've been speed rolling mine.
Got it.
Gotcha. All
Nothing's
right.
been happening.
Uh,
They suddenly decided to suck.
If there
I'm
are
not
no,
mad.
yeah, right. We'll take it. If there are no objections, Mike is going to finish the job. So he's gonna aim his sub gun, right?
Who are you finishing the job on? We got 2 injured guys.
Oh, the guy who's
the guy who's trying to
attempting
drag his friend? Great. Go
yeah,
for it.
Yeah. So
We've got so much momentum. Would you like to spend 1 to buy an extra die?
I'm gonna burn one just
Yeah.
because we do have a cap, right? At 6.
You have a cap at 6, and it does replenish as you roll. So, momentum is the most burnable resource.
Dude, you could run up to him and disarm him, and then we have a witness.
I would recommend shooting him and then looting his body. It's probably more efficient.
All right.
Unless you're just really
it's
suddenly
fine.
going to take
needs to go away?
take an ethical stand on not killing him.
Not killing Nazis? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's...
Tolerance only knows so
Alrighty.
much.
They did technically start shooting at you first.
They started it.
We did start it. So that's 2 successes and 1 failure.
So to be clear, unless the failure is a 1, I just need your total of successes.
Okay.
If you roll if you're a 20.
A 20.
If you roll a 20, there will be a complication.
Gotcha,
But yeah,
gotcha.
so 2 successes.
2 successes for me.
Yeah, great. Roll your stress. Roll your injury.
Yeah, 6 of these guys. So let's see. Cthulhu, 1 stress, 2 stress, which makes 3 stress, and a a blank. And then let me re-roll the blank in the Cthulhu.
One of them is a double damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just making sure.
Got it.
Cool.
And then another stress. And a blank.
He's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he flops down on his friend.
This ambush was a great idea.
Two corpses. Great. These guys are having a bad day. They should have sent their beefier soldiers, but I was like, oh, I'll just send you the low-key guys. It'll be fine. Reader, it was less fine than I thought. My turn. Dude in the back is going to run.
Smartest thing he's done all day.
He has seen you guys mowing his friends down. He's seeing your other friends mowing his other friends down. He's seeing his other friends retreating. He's like, I don't need to stick around for this. Goodbye. He watched you snipe a sniper with a gun not meant to snipe.
Mm-hmm.
Keep saying that.
He's ready
but
to leave.
I guess any gun at that distance is a sniper rifle.
Right.
They're guns that are made for
There are
that
specific
purpose.
guns that are made for longer range, and yours is not one of them.
Can we zoom in on this?
We'll post photos to the Discord later. He is a badass. Who else is left?
I am.
Is it
I'm gonna pop around the corner of the car. Yeah, because my Luger is also close.
you're
close
all
range.
within mid range or close range.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I will
Yours feels like you're all close.
just like tossing the submachine gun back on its strap and pulling out my pistol.
Draw and fire.
I want to play with him.
No,
Okay.
we do not. We do not entertain sadists around here. Thank you.
That's a war crime! I know we haven't canonized it yet and won't for another 5 years, but we're already talking about it.
So that is 2 successes.
2 successes. Great. Yeah. Roll them dice.
1 complication. Sorry, 2 complications, 1 damage, or 1 stress, and 2 stress, 2 complications total.
Great. What's the complication?
This is a muddy, horrible area. I step into a rut funny, and my ankle is unhappy with me. I'm not damaged, but it throws me off a little.
Yeah, you torque your ankle. It seems okay because you do also hit this guy, and he goes down.
Nice.
We are out of combat. Everybody else is fleeing. And I think as you all kind of, wipe the sweat off of your brows, for some of you start to assess the damage to where you've been actively shot. Take some deep breaths. Clarissa runs in, you see, kind of like pops up from where she's been like pistol behind the barricades, like trying to pop out people, like pops up and starts running towards you guys with her first aid bag. And I think that is where we're going to take our break. We will be back in a brief, 10-ish minutes.
Wait a second.
Say what? Oh, yeah?
You kill the guy. He's immobilized. Now he's going to go back. His friend's going to go back. We don't know where they're going to go back to. They're going to regroup, and then they're going to bring heavier forces.
You guys rolled
Next
a lot of
time-
complications. You already know that they're gonna come
They
back.
know exactly where we are.
And we don't know where they
exactly
are.
Where they were.
Join us in 10 minutes as we
The
see
hunted now becomes the
consequences of
hunted.
this.
We have other things to do.
It's more important than killing us.
Hello and welcome back to Achtung, Cthulhu. We have just completed the tutorial fight. Everyone survived. Shockingly, barely, honestly, in some cases. Maybe not that barely. You guys have a higher stress threshold than the Jerry's did. But now you all take a moment, catch your breath. Clarissa runs up to you and starts checking those of you who are wounded, trying to bandage you all up.
Does that remove stress at all?
I am double checking. Healing up. You're gonna take some time. You're gonna go get into one of these little houses, find some cover, and take some time to get patched up. So we will use the healing up mechanic for now. I'm gonna roll for Clarissa to make a check to see how well she does patching you up. So she's gonna roll reason and medicine, which is, her specialty.
Thank God.
She has a 16 in this. And she rolled a natural 1 and a 7.
Ooh, yay.
So, Micah and Jordan, you get patched up. Kalish, you were also a little bit hurt.
I took 5 stress
you
from
did
one
take
shot.
Oh, okay.
I got fairly
were very
seriously hurt.
So I think everybody's about equally hurt except for Lula, who had the cover of the tank, thankfully,
Yeah.
and was mostly able to stay out of range. We're gonna say just she is able to recover you. Can I have my special dice?
Does rolling a 1 give us a fortune or a momentum
It
in only combat, or?
She rolled 3 successes, so she is an NPC, so she is not going to give you momentum. What I am allowing it to do. You guys already have 4 of your 6 momentum banked. What I am allowing it to do is that she is going to be able to heal all 3 of you up on a single. Jesus. She is going to.
Is she a wizard?
I rolled 4 complications,
Oh,
which is not how necessarily that works. But I'm just like, what is how? You feel
Suddenly hearing the Dead by Daylight sound when you mess up a heal check.
yeah.
She's reusing sanitary.
Well, you all have syphilis
This
now.
is just this is.
Good luck.
The instructions refer to these die, these specialty die that have the complications and the whatever. They refer to them using the complications symbol. And so sometimes that is unclear how you are supposed to read when you are not rolling it just for stress. And that is the question. Hero is just like, what does that mean?
Remind me about complications in the After Dark.
I will
So
try to
wanna talk
remember.
about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say everybody go ahead and recover 2 stress. Okay. If you take enough time without getting into another firefight, you are going to naturally relieve all of your stress.
No promises.
Speaking of
But-
that, Lulu jumps out and is like, maybe we should go check those guys for some intelligence or
Papers? Yeah.
firearms.
Sniper rifle.
Jones and Lane look at you all and go, right, we'll go do the looting and bring back anything we find. You all need to get healed up right now. No arguments.
Convenient. Oddly enough, 2 completely heals me.
Great. You still have to go sit through the healing.
You still have a hole in your pants.
Right as you say this, the reinforcements arrive as we get a raider from Commodore Zed. Commodore Zed, welcome. Thank you, raiders. We are playing Achtung, Cthulhu. We are learning to play Achtung, Cthulhu, which is from Modifus. It is a 2d20 system full of punching Nazis and fighting God. So far, we have done the punching Nazis part. We haven't found God yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Maybe God was one of us.
Speaking of, you never know in this system. Speaking of which, you do also gain another pool fortune from the combined efforts of Red Dead Coquette and Danny that I forgot to shout out earlier.
Yay.
Thank you.
You can add that to the pool for in case you need it later.
We will.
As you all are getting healed up, you're tucked away. Lane and Jones go to check us out. You do see another one of these boffins, one of Clarissa's fellows, kind of runs up and is like, "Oh, well, this is very unfortunate. I was supposed to deliver this letter to Atterbury, but it seems he has been deceased, so I suppose I shall have to. Who is next in command?
It's Jordan.
Don't salute me. Did you see what happened to him?
I believe it is in fact. Lance Corporal Kelly. Perhaps I should give him, unless you wish to have. It is a telegram that is calling. We're gonna have to rewrite this on the fly because we've changed the order of things. Is calling. Jordan Ash, Mike Titterman, Kelash Kanan as back to Lieutenant Strang to speak to him about an urgent matter.
All right.
Sucks to be you guys.
Guess we got our marching orders. Wait, is there? Can you recheck the telegram? Was there a Lula Brett in there?
There's not a little Brett, but as she is with your command post, I believe she should come along.
That's fine. I'll fix all your mechanical
Yeah,
stuff.
try to keep our Jeepo.
Look, I'd rather have you than him, and I'll jerk my thumb at the mansplainer.
Hey, what's that about? I was just trying to help.
Yeah, sure.
Jordan gets up and repacks his clip and walks over to. What is your name?
Micah.
Micah. What kind of journalist are you again?
Oh, war correspondent, meine.
What did you do before the war?
I reported on the. Why am I French now?
Sorry, that is my fault. I shall leave now.
Goddamn sympathetic accent detector over here.
It'll only get worse. I'm so sorry, friends.
Hold on. I was yeah, you say
Boxer?
boxer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, much like your Jack Johnson.
Oh yeah, good. You guys get the radio over here on the fights.
Yeah.
Well, you've also got good aim with your sights. Good job. Kudos. Well done. I don't know what you guys. Danke. What do you say here?
Prost.
Prost. That's you know. I'll take a good prost after the war.
Clarissa gives you a gentle pat on your non-wounded shoulder. Mickey goes, right, well, I think everyone's as patched up as they're going to get, so you should probably, I guess we should all head out. It looks like the rest of us were all summoned as well, Kelly and I, and we've been summoned to Le Local, the cafe. It's the hospital now. It's really where we should have done all this patching up, but I thought it was better to make sure you didn't bleed out on the way. Are either of those jeeps still working? It's probably a lot shorter if we drive.
The tank works.
Does the tank drive now?
The gun works on the tank.
Right. Let's check the jeeps.
They did say that we were supposed to report, not that we were supposed to report with the tank, so perhaps we report and then we can always come back to the tank if
Do either of the jeeps look less damaged?
So the ones that you see on the map were not the ones you drove in on. Those were already busted.
Oh yeah, we drove
cleared.
in on
Sorry,
jeeps.
You
yes.
drove in on jeeps. They're parked just off the edge of the map
okay.
back
Yay.
there. Yes, they are still in working order. You are able to
Take the jeeps.
take one of the jeeps. You all pile in. Alex and Clarissa took no injuries during this fight, so they will be the ones who ride on the sides. Lula, you get to drive because ain't nobody gonna argue with you for driving. And you head along the way toward the beachfront. As you're driving along, you start to see the just lines and lines of soldiers lined up and camped out along the beaches, waiting, hopeful evacuation. Yes.
Are we in France or in Germany?
You're in Dunkirk,
Okay.
which is in France. Beach of France. French beach. Beach will become very important later in the war, but not right now, unfortunately. You're all just stranded here at the moment. You double back through the streets, driving along, and it doesn't take you too long to pull up to Le Local, a beautiful beachfront cafe you imagine it was in its former life. Now the facade is riddled with bullet holes, the awnings are sagging and torn, and you can see that there is a red cross that has been kind of pasted up hastily into a window to indicate that this is being used as a field hospital. That is the only thing that indicates that this building is habited. It very much looks like it is deliberately allowed to be a little bit in disrepair in hopes that it will be left alone. You pull up, you park. I am trying to look because it gave me a name of a guy that doesn't seem to matter, so he's just not here right now. If you're gonna give me a named NPC, tell me why he's there. Otherwise, don't give me a named NPC. This is like the reverse of most problems that we have in games. Clarissa's very familiar with this building, so she just pops you in. She knows that there are offices down in the basement. What used to be kind of storage for the cafe has now been turned into secret offices, as have many tucked away places in these buildings.
So it's not actually a cafe anymore.
No, it has been turned into a field hospital.
Okay, I'm gonna rummage through the shelves, look for any bit of coffee grounds I can salvage.
One of the nurses immediately starts swatting you and is just like, hey, get your hands into the supplies. If you were looking for field rations, go to the mess officer.
He doesn't say a word, stares at her, then walks off.
Clarissa looks at you and goes, if you want tea or coffee, I can get that for you. Don't go messing with the sterile supplies. Jeez, you have been in the hospital before, yes?
I've been in a cafe before, too. They usually serve coffee.
It has not been a cafe for like 3 years.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Doing all right there.
But are we sure there's no coffee?
If there is coffee, sorry, Clarissa's our British nurse. If there is coffee, it's probably down in the offices, which is where we're going. Scoot.
Yes. Perfect.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Taking the stairs down, you find a fairly large and busy basement that, much to your great chagrin, you can tell used to be the pantry. All the supplies have been relocated to the actual mess locations because this is now offices. Jordan, you are actually the first one to recognize Lieutenant Archibald Strang leaning over a desk in the center of the room that is covered in a series of maps. There are several agents that are kind of bustling around, handing papers to one another. There's a couple who are sitting at typewriters and like rapidly sending messages or typing up messages. Yes.
Is Lieutenant Strang younger than me? Probably
your same age.
Is there coffee in front of him?
You do not see any.
Okay.
This is gonna be.
Is there a court-martial that you keep?
Let me finish the flavor text, and then you can ask me any further questions you have.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. There's a row of radio operators on the far side of the basement, and there's the chatter of incoming and outgoing radio traffic in English, French, and maybe a little smattered German as well. On the other side of the basement, you see another stairwell. Looks like it probably leads to like the back alley or, the back entrance or whatever, on which you can see a very stern-looking female captain who is laying into a private who is holding a broken rifle. She's, very quiet. You can't hear what she's saying, but you can recognize the like tone and expression as she is going down on him, and next to him is a shelf that has been repurposed from what was once flour and sugar into boxes of ammunition and field medics kits. As you enter in, Strang does look up and is like, Jordan, laddies, come on down. Right, good. Glad that you're all here. You all survived. I'm seeing some bandages. You must have been caught by those Jerrys, eh?
Caught a little off guard, yes.
Right. Well, sorry to pull from your post, but something far more urgent has arisen than repairing barricades, at least for the lot of you. You may be aware Jerry's got us dead to rights. One more push and we're done for. We lose our holding here. But for some reason, they don't seem to be actively taking the shots they could. I mean, certainly it seems that you all had a bit of an experience with them, but we know they've got heavier artillery than what they clearly brought in, but they don't seem to be bringing it. Same's been for the last week or so, these small volleys to keep us on our toes, keep us with our heads in the sand, but nobody's actually pushing forward. They know that we're depleted here. Our forward operatives have observed that they're withdrawing to artillery range, but something else seems to be going on. We thought maybe it was, we thought we spotted the SS arriving, perhaps, but none of the uniforms or insignia have been spotted. And you know how those peacocks like to be showing off their stuff, especially for the lesser soldiers. So we're putting together a small point team to be sending behind enemy lines. We'd like to send you into the occupied territory east of here to do a sort of reconnaissance mission, try to find out who it is that arrived so recently and why they haven't been pressing forward with the guns and the artillery that we know they've got. Right? There's a rendezvous with another one of our agents who's stationed out in the field at the Église Sainte-Marie. That's the Church of Sainte Marie. He's Professor Richard Deadman, goes by Arrow. Americans, they've all got to have code names. He's a little bit peculiar, but he knows his stuff, he knows the field, and he's stationed as close as we can tell to the heart of where the Jerrys are, without actually having been spotted by them. I guess even they've got some morals about just razing down a church, don't you know? Your code phrase is, the weather seems rather changeable for this time of year, to which the answer is, yes, but it seems a pleasant day for a stroll. You can talk to Captain Appleby. He jerks his finger to the harsh-looking woman who has finished berating the young man and is now grumpily has set up this rifle on a table, looks to be starting to try to do repairs. Captain Appleby will kit you out if there's anything else you need restored. Fill up your bullets, fill up your meds, and that's what we're looking for. As you get all of this, you're all able to see he's got all these papers on his desk, and there is one stack that is a folder of eyes only. Eyes only paperwork that has a very peculiar stamp on it. Interesting. He does not seem to acknowledge this, but you do see it near him.
Yeah.
I take it none of us have seen this before.
It's an intertwined M and S for the people who can't see it.
Is this a French coffee
Or
brand?
possibly W.
For those of you watching at home, you might be able to see it on the little map. You can also see it below my name card, or next to my name card below me. Anyway, Strang will show you on a map where the Church of Sainte Marie is, so that you know where to go. And you can see that it is deeply within the village area that is just to the east of here. You know, the what was once one of the habited areas of the larger outskirts of Dunkirk that is currently occupied by the German forces. I'm going to go ahead just for funsies.
I mean, we have the maps.
We got the maps, we might as well show 'em.
Exactly.
You all are
Populous.
somewhere over here behind British lines. And you need to get to
Sainte Marie?
the building that is shaped like a cross, which is how you know it's a church. Welcome to European architecture, a thing I actually probably know more about than World War II. And I know a fair amount about World War II, just not the military parts of it. I did politics.
Fair.
Oh my goodness. You guys are in the middle of this when suddenly a boisterous group of probably the secondary forces that came to back you guys up in this fight come rolling in to like drop off their guns and immediately start getting chewed out by who you now know as Captain Appleby for being so loud and rowdy as the lollygaggers just raided us.
Hey, welcome.
Hello, welcome. We are playing Achtung, Cthulhu. It's our first time playing. This is part of Starter Set Summer School, so we are learning as we go, and our allied operatives have just been given a secret mission to infiltrate behind German lines and try to meet up with one of their American contacts who is stashed in the basement of a church, and to try to find out why they're not being attacked more than they are. So,
Is there a chance of getting, I don't know, better weapons than we have currently? Or is there an opportunity for?
if you wish, you can speak to Appleby. She is the quartermaster, and she can offer to outfit you with stock kits. Each kit is comprised of a backpack, a high standard HDM pistol with 3 ammo. This is a handgun, close range, 3 stress, vicious salvo, minor. Its qualities are close quarters and subtle. So they're not necessarily better, but it does serve a different function. This is much more of a concealed weapon. You have limited ammunition, but it is better for close range fighting. You also each receive a thumb knife. That's a hidden knife. You can flick out with your thumb and just... it's what it sounds like. Additionally, a set of binoculars and 3 ration packs.
We each get these.
You each get those.
What was the pistol called again?
It is a high standard HDM pistol.
Suppressed.
Not suppressed. Subtle,
Subtle.
which is a quality.
Okay.
You don't have a silencer. You have the ability to sneak this better on your person than like your submachine guns that are slung on your back, and pull it out more sneakily.
What does salvus vicious mean? Salvo vicious.
I believe it means you. I have to find the salvo rules because they keep referring to the like piercing and etc. damage. And I have to double check where those rules are because they're somewhere in here and I haven't found them.
Index. Is there an index in the rulebook?
Oh, if only.
Oh, geez.
There's a table of contents in the front, but I don't know how specific that is. I have the searchable one. Let me see. Ammo is a currency used to activate the weapon's salvo attack, which adds extra effects. Like area or stun. And then page 14 is supposedly weapon effects. Vicious. The attack or hazard is especially potent, so you add +1 to the total stress inflicted.
Oh.
For each effect rolled.
It's basically like emptying the clip is the salvo.
Sort of, yeah. That's basically how they're doing it. Rather than having to account for like you have 16 bullets in a magazine and how many shots are you firing? And like it's just like you burn 1 ammo to fire your gun. It has this effect depending on what the salvo is.
What does piercing do?
The attacker hazard is especially good at overcoming armor or cover resistance. You ignore that much resistance. So if you've got like piercing +1 or piercing 1, it means you can ignore 1 point of armor or cover. So, yeah, I know that is a thing that you have some proficiency with. Our veteran of the wars.
And so when you shoot, you use you do a salvo?
Anytime you shoot, you do a salvo, whatever your weapon salvo is, and that burns 1 ammo. You by default have 3 ammo per weapon unless it says so otherwise. Like again, I think Jordan has a bandolier that gives him 6.
Ooh.
Okay. Sorry, that was not indicated on here.
No.
That's okay. As of right now, we don't need to worry about it. We only played 3 rounds, so nobody
times
shot more
last
than
time,
3 times, and you all get refills.
Okay.
So you are all back up to full on all of your weapons through Appleby. She will sigh a little bit at how much ammo you have spent, but also like, this is war. That's what you do. As she is handing out your gear, she will remind you that she expects every piece of equipment back in its current condition or better, and that every round that is not laying low a German will be returned to the quartermaster.
What are we, rationing?
Yes. Sorry, like, where do you think we're getting more bullets from? We're currently surrounded by the German army, cut off from all resources, and we're still praying that we even get food drops, much less ammunition. So yes, we're rationing. Don't take the shot if you don't think you can hit, would be my advice.
Okay. Well,
She's not talking to me.
well, you can hit. That's why I fix tanks.
She looks at you and just hands you an additional wrench. It's just like, I appreciate a woman who knows what she's good at. Great. Let me see. If anybody wants to talk any further with Strang, he can try to tell you a little more about what he knows, but he doesn't have a whole lot. Or you can just...
What month are we in?
It is the beginning of July.
July.
Is there an area or of town that's easier to get through that you have noticed?
Well, I mean, it's really going to depend. I would suggest approaching quietly and seeing if you can kind of spot where the patrols are. Since you all just gave them a sound beating down the way, there's a good probability that they're having to take the time to regroup, much like you a lot just did. So I'd say there's a good possibility that they're either going to be much higher up on the patrols or much lower down because they're down on their people while they're accounting for the dead and probably counting their own bullets.
Lieutenant, remind me what the passphrase is once more, please.
The
Yes,
past
but it
phase,
seems-
the weather seems rather changeable for this time of year.
Worst time of year.
And the response is, yes, but it seems a pleasant day for a stroll.
Dankeschön. For base.
Bitte.
I ask the lieutenant if Joe Louis is still the heavyweight champion in his last boxing match appearance.
The lieutenant blinks at you and goes, is this some sort of a trick test that I don't know about? I've been using the radio to try to get us out of here. I haven't really been listening to the boxing. Sorry.
All right.
One of you catch the eye. You see one of the like switchboard radio operator gals kind of looks at you and just mouths, "I'll check."
Sends her a wink.
Yeah.
Is everyone? No one. We're not all healed up, right? We've
No.
got,
Some of us have residual stress left over.
perhaps we could just take a nap and leave at night.
Oh,
I would say that is a totally fair option.
super.
Generally, the way that healing works is we're not quite as hand-wavy as you sleep it off. You did still get shot. But the way this generally works is like when a new scene starts, if enough time has passed, you will be healed up. So I will say if you guys want to take a few hours to restock, clean your guns, rest, check on the results of the fights or the races as best you can by sweet talking your favorite radio operators into letting you borrow the transistor. You can you can all do that.
Get a canteen or two of coffee.
Yes, yeah, you can grab some coffee or some tea, and then you can plan to set out at night. I don't feel like running additional NPCs, so I'm going to say the four of you are going to go, and we're going to keep Clarissa and Kelly at camp as backup. However, I am going to, for the sake of it being fun, and then I get to introduce that this thing exists, I'm going to say that if you want, you can take Danu with you. Danu is Commander Kelly's black cat.
That was almost the reason I almost took Commander Kelly specifically because of the cat.
Yeah, no, Commander Kelly has a cat. No one knows where this cat came from. No one knows why this cat is allowed to stay, but this cat is just always popping up at the most random times and then disappearing again. Black cat. It just appears, like, you're not even sure if it belongs to Commander Kelly or if it just showed up and happens to, like, hang around him. Could be a street cat. Who knows? He does talk to it in Gaelic, so it might be his. it's kind of random. But if you want, Commander Kelly will offer to send Danu with you so that if something goes wrong, you can send her back to get him. A thing that cats are definitely well known for doing, listening to orders and fetching help.
You know, given that I think we all, well, yeah, I'll like.
Try and put
right.
tiny saddlebags on it.
It's all right. I'm a street cat too.
Yeah. The cat always hisses. It has never bitten or clawed anybody, but is always hissing.
Very chatty little thing.
You all take some time, you rest. Those of you who still have stress, I will let you remove one more stress for just taking the time to, eat, clean your wounds, switch your bandages, prep your stuff.
I have taken the time to clear my rifle, clean it out properly.
Yes. Anybody who declared a complication in which their gun jammed and stuff, you have time to fix all of those things.
Clean my wrenches.
I am looking. Sorry, I'm double checking. Lula and Jordan, I think before you guys take off, Clarissa does come to you again and goes, I heard you asking Appleby about better weapons, and well, I can't really say it's better. I'm already having accent bleed as well. Clarissa is the chameleon. She's apparently whatever accent I used last. My bad.
Clarissa Jensen.
I was trying so hard to avoid it, and there's just no avoiding it. But if you want, I won't say it's better. Better is a strong qualifier. It's not. It's just different. I've been working with a couple of the other tinkerers on something on this. And she's gonna pull out a little box and open it up, and inside you see what honestly looks like a BB gun. It looks like a kid's BB gun. It's very small, a little bit cobbled together looking. And she goes, we call this the Whisperer. It's sort of an experiment. To see if we can come up with something that's a bit more deadly for close quarters and a little bit still subtle, as it were. Sort of designed for sneaking up and popping one off, as they say. We haven't had a chance to field test it though. So if you would like to take it with you, I can't guarantee it'll be successful, but if you want to take it and have it available to test out, I'm happy to send it with.
Absolutely. Be like dropping a piano in the middle of enemy territory if it doesn't work. Sign me up.
All right. Wonderful. This is the Whisperer. It is a silenced BB gun.
It's literally a BB gun.
I mean, it is literally a BB gun, but also not. It is a 3-stress weapon with a persistent 2. Which means that it keeps doing damage after you've shot it.
Tinkerers are scary.
It is a vicious salvo. It is like the other two things you're going to. Size is minor, so it's easy to conceal. Quality is subtle. This BB gun is usually designed to fire small spherical projectiles, normally ball bearings, to silently take out sentries. This version contains toxin-infused pellets, which will render them unconscious on a successful hit. Although it seems a little more than a souped-up air gun, the Whisperer is highly effective and a boon where stealth and silence is necessary. So yeah, it's basically a stun gun.
All right.
An experimental stun gun.
Neat.
Great. To clock my time.
Yeah, clock the time. Sorry.
Where the term comes from when you clock something.
I didn't know that.
I believe. Don't quote me on that. I haven't Googled it in a hot minute. We can talk about it in the After Dark or not. You all set off to head to the Church of St. Marie. We are going to have you roll some checks to see if there's going to be any problems for you getting there or later down the line. Probably later down the line, because I have grand plans for things.
No boy.
There are again, you keep referencing all of these NPCs, but you're not like bolding them or making it obvious where they are or when you run into them. We'll talk about it in the After Dark. Basically, we've got 3 possible checks that you can make. You can make an insight and survival tracking check to try to spot where, like, what the sentry pattern is. You could make a coordination and stealth check to just be sneaky, help find the sneaky ways to do things. And you can make an insight and observation hearing check to try to listen for, stuff you should or shouldn't avoid. If you don't feel like you are good at any of those things, but would like to assist one of your fellows, the way that you can assist in this case is that you just roll a single d20 under your version of that skill, and if it is a success, it adds to the pool of successes for the other player. So say I saw that Lula doesn't seem to be super great at any of these skills. This is not her wheelhouse, but if she wants to help Mike try to make a check, you can roll an additional d20 alongside Mike's 2 for a pool of 3 to help you have a better chance of succeeding. That's basically the way the help action works in this game.
Okay.
So, who wants... I will let you guys choose if you want to roll a tracking, a stealth, an observation, or if you just want to help somebody else.
I got a tracking at 13. I think maybe.
I've got an urban stealth at 14.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do we know that we need stealth now?
You're probably going to need all of these skills. What I am speed running the way this is actually supposed to work. Instead of making you guys do these checks like 4 or 5 times as you progress through, I'm kind of letting you guys do group checks to see
Okay.
how well this goes.
Well, Micah is very observant and insightful, so that gives a difficulty 14 for any hearing.
I can
do
definitely
those.
help with that.
Very good.
Great. Okay, so Jordan, you are going to roll our tracking check. Kailash is going to roll the stealth check. Mike is going to roll the observation check with assistance from Lula.
So that's insight and observation?
It's
Yes.
2, right?
Yes.
You guys do have
Let's
4
see.
momentum, so if anybody wants to burn a momentum to give themselves a bonus die, you cannot burn momentum, you are only helping, but any of the other 3 who are making the primary checks, if you want to add a die to your pool.
I say somebody burns one because we may...
Well, I was going to say we burn one of these because these go away at the end of the night. Do the momentum?
Momentum carries over. Because we're only playing 2 episodes, I will let fortune coins carry.
Okay.
Let's
That's right.
use,
These are
let's
fortune coins, not
use one
momentum.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in
Yeah.
case.
If you want to use a fortune, you can get an auto success. That is one of the benefits of
It's
fortune.
an auto 1, which is 2 successes.
Which is auto 1, which is 2 successes. Yeah.
Yep.
So, who wants to?
I'd much rather roll for it, baby.
You can do it. Do you want to murder momentum to at least roll 3?
Anybody else want to, use a fortune? I'm
Yeah,
in
I'll-
favor of people using
I
a
can.
fortune.
Yeah. Do you want to use a momentum and just have 3 to roll from?
No.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I will say these are all higher difficulty. So
Wait,
having
I'm sorry.
multiple.
Time out. I thought the difficulty was set by my...
that is what you have to roll under. The difficulty is is set by me. That is how many successes you have to make.
Ah,
So-
okay.
I will go ahead and burn the fortune
Please.
to get the.
And I
Use
will,
use a
the
I'll
one.
You're
take
going
a
to automatically turn one of your rolled dice into a 1. Yes.
I will take a momentum as well.
Okay, great. So you're going to just roll 3.
Yes.
Let's see.
Glad I did that.
And Mike is just going to go ahead and rely on...
You going to raw dog it with Lula?
3 successes.
Lord.
That was the most horrifying way you could have phrased that. Thank you.
How about you just stay in the back?
Maybe after the first
Thomas got a
date.
20.
This is like, I'll help you be quiet as wrenches start flying into the ground.
Click.
I'll help you listen. Immediately drops her bag.
That's only 1 success, Lula. So...
Okay. So you got 3 successes
2 successes
Great.
with
with
that.
With that? No, great. Okay. You are like immediately locked on, and you're like, oh yeah, there's cigarette butts over there, and there's some footprints over there, and like that's definitely where a guy just like does that like habitual like touch the thing, like the good luck charm, whatever. You just immediately, and you figure out kind of what you think the sentry's pattern is, and you think you can kind of lead everybody around, basically doing the reverse of whatever circle the guards are doing, to kind of least likely chance of running into them. You are immediately able, you think back to growing up on the streets of New Delhi and the kind of bob and weave of getting around houses and through back alleys, and then combined with what Jordan has found, you can kind of spot for those places of like those little like dark corners that you can sesh into. The one unfortunate thing is that you guys just aren't able to get a bead on where the sentries are right now. Okay. You know they're not immediately here. Like, you don't see or hear them immediately. You don't know where they are. So you don't know if they've just passed or if they're just approaching. And that's just a risk you're going to have to take to move deeper in to the village. But it is dark. There is a certain amount of stealth on your side because of the dark. There's also a certain amount of extra danger because the dark provides cover, which is also a great time for, you know, raiding parties to go out and try to attack the outskirts of the lines.
Whisper at the ready.
Yes. You got the whisper at the ready. Everybody can have a hand on a firearm. Keep your thumb knives nearby in case you just need to. Remember, fastest way to a man's heart is between the third and fourth rib.
I have the thumb knife on one hand, the brass knuckles on the other, glint in the occasional light that turns up.
Yeah. Great.
I pick up my wrench and then I'm carrying it.
Aww. Very good. Very good. Cool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make everybody make one more check. This is everybody just makes this. Don't worry about it too hard. It is an agility stealth.
Okay. 9 is the number of beats.
Is it 2? It's 2 until unless we want.
Can I use a momentum?
Please spend one.
I'm gonna use one of my fortunes to re-roll the nat 20 that I rolled.
Fuck.
Oh, great. Yeah. You do that. I actually forgot you had earned a momentum from the last one, so cool. Stays 3.
That's
better.
That's 2 successes for the German.
Great.
So using a fortune, I get to reroll one?
You may burn a fortune to reroll a die, yes.
I will. 1 success, 1 fail.
1 success, 1 fail.
You said it's agility and stealth?
Do you have to take
Agility
the latter
stealth.
one?
Yes. If you reroll
You
your
rolled a 20 again!
Wow. This is very poetic. You are the one carrying the most heavy equipment because you've got your mechanics.
My whisper, and I walk up to her and I put it under her jaw. I say, "If you don't shut up, I will leave you in this ditch."
Okay. So 1 success, 1 20.
Okay.
1 success, 1 fail. But not a 20.
I should have left it alone. It was fine.
You are making an unfortunate amount of noise. And it is not, as much as it's fun to make the joke, it's not all just Lula. It is like you're trying to move through the dark in unfamiliar territory. Yeah. You stumble into a rubbish bin and it just kind of rattles and you have to take a moment to study it.
Throw the cat.
Like creeping along around corners and
I do not command this cat.
Oh, no one's holding it.
No, cats just follow you. Cat seems to be doing fine. Cat's like delivering up along rooftops, like around, just hisses at you guys occasionally, like the bad-natured little fiend it is. And you make your way.
What a good little harbinger of doom.
Along, and I'm having to find my order of operations. I think the big major complication that is going to come from specifically from that natural 20 is that just in the course, like, you're trying to stay quiet, you're trying to, like, every time there's a noise you all kind of like jump and kind of redirect and whatever. I think you get all a little turned around.
Oh jeez.
And as you're making your way through, you know you need to go to the the southern end of town. I had to double check that the compass is correct. Sometimes these maps are like, that way is east. And I'm like, no, it's not. The upward arrow is always north. Just put it that way on your map. You know you're headed to the south end of the village, and you think you're doing fine. You're making your way. But again, this is an unfamiliar area. You haven't been here. This has always been under German control. And as you approach, you pull up and you find yourselves arriving. I'm just going to put you on the map to show where you pop out.
Not too far.
You find yourselves kind of approaching an area that seems... You see light. And this is where you do finally start to hear noise. You hear movement, you hear talking. Specifically, you hear speaking in German. You are all immediately like, we are not at the correct place. We are still too much in town. You saw enough of the map. You saw a map that was kind of the equivalent of what you're seeing here now. So you know that you should not still... If you were approaching the church, you would not still be surrounded by this many buildings. You know you're in the wrong spot. You have discovered people. I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys to make... I have to find... insight observation checks.
Ooh.
To try to glean some information about where you are and what is going on. If anybody wants to pitch me something different that they would like to do other than just, I want to kind of figure out what's going on, feel free to offer. It can be descriptive and then I can tell you what you need to roll for that. But
in this scene, I would like to use, if I can, my talent did the reading, where I can use academia instead of observation to recall the details of the map and try to...
Yeah, I was going to say, you're a scout. I will allow that. That makes sense that you could use that to be, like, visualizing the map and being like, where did we go wrong? Which way did we turn?
Right, like,
Yes.
I see a large courtyard. Where was that on the map?
Perfect.
So Micah rolled a natural 1 and an 8, which is well below his threshold.
Oh, yeah.
He knows German, obviously.
You're going to get so much information.
So, I
have never been this upset at my dice for rolling well.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
2 successes.
2 successes.
One and one.
Surprisingly, you're like, you feel like you've gotten your bearings at least a little bit.
A threat would do that to you.
Yeah, that was definitely...
Oh, you mean I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to drop my tools?
That was totally it.
So I was like, I had to check what languages you speak. Great, okay. So you're doing great. You're doing great.
No successes.
No successes.
One success, one fail.
Okay, great. So, you just kind of get a little bit lost, Kailash, and you just get kind of lost in. You're trying so hard to visualize that. I'm not going to make you take a complication. You didn't roll a 20, but there is sort of that, like, you're like so focused that you like bump up into Mickey, who kind of has to just be like just kind of like grab you and like hold you still and just be like, focus. As you kind of come back and realize like, nope, for whatever reason, I got nothing. You're able to kind of like, you drop into go mode. You've got your whisperer at the ready. And you start listening. I have to double check all things. You recognize that there is German being spoken. You are not fluent enough in it to tell what is being said. But you're able to kind of start peeping around through these buildings and you start to catch a glimpse of what looks like a lot of movement here. I'm trying to see what fun stuff you have. Everybody except maybe you, because you have just smacked into again. Everybody notices as you kind of like start peeking around these buildings and creeping up toward the square that there is just a mass of black clad soldiers. There are idling vehicles in this square. It's once surrounded by beautiful homes that are now riddled with bullet holes, have that like smoky cast of fires being just a little too close. There are dozens of soldiers in black greatcoats adorned with red armbands. There are troop transports and a couple of lighter tanks sitting toward the back.
Oh. Waffen SS then.
That sure does look like it. Behind them are more conventional Heer troops, German army troops, which are closer to who jumped you guys earlier today, who seem to be sort of set up in a more standard kind of like not quite at attention, but close to, and watching this whole scene from a distance. In the center of the square, you see two figures conversing. One who is a Heer officer, and one who is one of these tall, great-coated people, also seems to have officer's rank. A few more things that you notice specifically. Well, actually, I think this is the thing that stands out to you. All of the black-clad troops, first of all, way more of them here than there are of standard troops. Second thing, everybody in the black greatcoats is wearing a metal mask. It is not a gas mask. It almost looks like the shape of a gaunt skull with big, sort of eyes that are some sort of dark glass. You assume they can probably see out of it, but they are obscured almost like sunglass lenses so that it's hard to see the eyes behind them. And they've got these strange breathing slots in the front that really just makes them look like a strange, theatrical skull face.
I cast heat metal.
Burn 'em.
Micah, you see that this officer who is in the center, very tall, very gaunt, seems to be looking at some maps alongside this very agitated seeming Heer officer, who is kind of seems very agitated to be talking to him, whereas he is eerily still. The spot where his eyes should be are glowing red from the inside, and it appears that his faceplate, everybody else sort of has helmets or hoods. He's got more of an officer's cap, and so you can see at the sides that it looks like this mask is fused into his skin. At his side, where you would normally expect to see a pistol or even a gun strapped to his back, you see a strange wooden staff carved out of gnarled wood that seems to be sprouted with tiny little blood red flowers running all up the shaft and then clustered at the top.
Small red flowers.
Small red flowers.
Not quite Edelweiss then.
Nope.
Well, unless it's been feeding on blood.
Yeah, you're not feeling great about that, as it were. This is what you get off of these checks. At the moment, everybody's too far away to be heard, other than the fact that there is talking, but there's clearly a conversation that is happening between these two at this table.
Let's leave. Leave, maybe?
What are they saying?
Too far away to be heard.
Where's the cat?
You all have binoculars, and I will say that if you're fluent in German, you could probably read some lips.
Okay, yeah. Well, Mike is going to go ahead and whip out his binoculars and try to read some lips. Ella.
Go ahead and make me an insight academia.
Works for me.
Great. Go ahead and do that. Anybody else who wants to? This is actively how this is designed. This is a fun instance where you can just kind of keep making checks until you fail so badly that I have to let you get caught.
Let's use momentum.
You haven't? I haven't seen it. You haven't told me yet. If you want to add a momentum and roll another one, you can.
What?
Okay. Spend.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Because I'm going to have to reroll this one. All right, so that's one success so far. And another success. That's under 13.
Okay. So you got 2 successes?
2 successes for
Great.
Micah.
Great. You are looking again. You can't really see the mouth of the creepy red-eyed man because he's wearing this terrifying mask. But the very nervous officer who he's speaking to keeps like stumbling. He seems like he's really like stuttering. He is trying to explain, and you start to pick up that he seems to be explaining that his men have searched the area, they have raided houses, and they have not turned up any sign of, as best you can tell, he is saying sign of giant insects or blue crystals. He says something about some civilians indicated farms outside of town. And as this sort of carries on for a minute, this very stoic, still gray-coated officer just kind of like looking at these maps, not even really seeming to acknowledge him. He seems to kind of bolster up his confidence a little bit, and says, as he kind of squares off and he kind of sorts himself out, it becomes a little easier to follow what he's saying. He explains that without orders to push into Allied territory, it would be impossible to determine what's near Dunkirk. And then he starts getting a little, you would say, maybe sassy.
Oh.
He points out that he and his men have been ordered to stop their assault in order to investigate this nonsense. Their sole objective should be to continue eliminating the Allied forces that still remain in this area. He, at some point, cuts off. It seems that the other man has sort of like, you see the mask slightly turn, and there seems to be some response. You can't hear it, but there seems to be something that happens, because then the officer suddenly shouts, drawing the attention of everyone in the square. "We are soldiers, not treasure hunters. Whatever madness you and your insane Schwarzhorn followers is no concern of mine, nor of the Reich." You know that Schwarzhorn, of course, means the Black Sun.
Mm.
Does anybody react as you have this moment? You see everybody in the town, like all the bustling, all the conversation has stopped as this outburst happens. So it has gone like dead quiet in the square. Does anybody want to do anything in this moment before the next thing happens?
This is an occupied town.
Yeah, this is fully occupied by German soldiers. They have been camped out here the way you guys have been camped out in the rest of Dunkirk.
How many soldiers in this square?
Couple hundred.
Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. That changes that then. Huh?
Yeah.
Over the course of the conversation, I think I would have like steadied myself, and I wanted to pull out my binoculars and get a better look at the person who is the weird one with the mask and the cap.
I mean, there's like 36 of these. No, that's a lie. I'm looking at the wrong one. Hang on. Hold on. I'll give you guys this when you've made enough successes. There are 36 troops of standard hair, here troops, and there are 108 men in these black coats.
Jeez.
And masks making up the platoons.
Ah.
Specifically the guy who's talking to the person who just shouted, because I was raised in a cult and I wanted to see if any of the weird stuff on him
Yeah, sure.
any of my occultism.
No, that totally makes sense. Go ahead and give me. I want insight and
I have a focus in occultism with academia, if that means anything.
Because of what you are trying to learn, I am going to let you roll that.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, insight and your academia because of your occult focus.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Finally redeeming myself.
Oh God, I have to find. Sorry, there is a specific thing, and I have to make sure that I tell you the right thing, but it's not laid out in the place where I want it to be.
Okay.
Which makes it harder to find.
Well, in the meantime, Mike is going to go ahead and relay all that information to the team.
Cool. Yeah, you can.
Lulu is readying an action to sneak away.
Yeah, you are ready to GTFO. With 2 successes, the specific thing that you see on this guy is that his armband does not have the symbol you would expect to see.
Really?
It
Okay.
has a symbol that, especially when you hear kind of what Mika is whispering to you, looks like it is a stylized black sunburst.
Oh.
It is not, you do not see any of the SS insignia that you would have been expecting based on the way he is dressed, nor do you see the traditional swastika that the rest of the hero troops are displaying. I want specifically the two of you, you might as may if you want, but specifically I want the two of you to make another insight observation roll.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
And I am raising the threat of this situation. I am declaring that it is not going to directly affect you so much as the situation.
Okay.
I will help one. You help one, or no?
Yeah, I'll help
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Like true.
Success.
Oh no, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, this might be time to use a fortune.
It might be.
I also
that's
rolled
one.
a natural
Do
20.
you want to?
I will.
Your third one.
If only we were playing a high roll game.
So does it, because I'm helping,
That
is
would have
that,
been dope.
is that a complication?
That is.
Then
I'm gonna have to make you roll a complication unless you want to use. I believe you can use a momentum to affect that. Let me double check.
It just adds one to the pool. Fortune is what you wanted to use.
You could burn a fortune to reroll.
I'll burn my second fortune.
I'm being very nice. And I'm letting you guys reroll crits.
One less.
Because it's fine. Great. I will also remind you that one of the other thing you can use momentum for, I've been really bad at remembering this, is you can burn a momentum to just straight up ask a question. Another thing that I think you can do with, for 2 points of momentum, if you want, you can create a truth about a situation.
Okay.
That's just a good thing to remember. I don't think we're going to get to it tonight because we're getting close to the end of the session.
About a
But,
situation and not a person.
technically, it's you have to do it as the agent or the target of the action because it's supposed to be an in-combat maneuver. I would potentially allow you to use it. It would still probably have to be a target, so it's not just a. You can't just create the truth of we are invisible. Like that's not. It has to be within the bounds of like the rule of these things, and it like much like we do with bits and other things. Everybody has to agree upon like we're going to buy this truth.
I say we burn a momentum to get the truth about one of the black suns.
It'll cost 2.
Yeah, we got 3.
Yeah.
And then we hightail out.
You also, I'm going to say, I am imposing the rule of it has to be within the bounds of something. Like, you can't just magically be like, I want to know everything about this or whatever, if there's no way for your characters to gain that information. We can create a construct wherein you can find information for sure. If you want to just ask a general question about the situation or anything. But first, let me go through. So you got two successes.
after burning the communal fortune.
No, that's fine. But you got 2 successes. Who was assisting you?
I was and I failed.
Okay, great. That's fine. And then you got
No successes.
No successes.
I got 1
And you got 1
success.
success. Great. Okay. You're not going to get anything.
Okay.
You are going to get. I have to find the thing is. Wiley, as you're describing this, you see something. It's very funny that you're the one who gets this compared to anybody else who could have. But as you're like scanning and keeping an eye on this, you see just a weird glint. And you see that on the building behind where these 2 kind of officers are arguing, you see the glint up in that upper corner of what you think is a sniper nest that is set up in that building that the hair troops do not seem to be aware of.
Oh.
Vive la resistance.
These French know how.
As the I've used the threat, I am changing the truth of this scene. And this is how it changes. The man in the mask walks away from the table, and the officer, the hero officer, turns and starts barking orders to his troops. Seems to be starting to tell them that they're getting ready to leave. And as he turns and says this, a shot rings out, and you all see that the red-eyed officer has drawn his Luger and shot the officer in the back of the head.
Oh, God.
He drops to the ground. Everyone freezes. There is a second shot, as he hits the ground. As this moment, there's the silence. Immediately, the heater troops start reaching for weapons, and a hail of gunfire erupts from all of the buildings around them. Multiple sniper nests, hidden troops in all of the buildings. And then the Panzer activates, firing shells into the midst of this army. In a matter of seconds, all of the heater troops have dropped. The black-clad troops break out of their well-organized groups, move forward, and you see them walking amongst the fallen heater troops, pulling their guns, and sporadically just taking out anyone who is still moving.
Enemy of
Everybody-
enemy is not my friend.
No.
Everybody except you
Yeah.
needs to make a will and resilience test to not take a point of mental stress for witnessing this. You are accustomed to violence. You've been through this is not even the worst thing you've seen.
Yeah.
This war, much less in both.
Right.
What is this? Will and
Will and resilience. It is a discipline.
You guys see what mustard gas does to people?
Oh man.
Natural one.
The one time it's nice to see a natural one.
That's right.
Meets it, beats it. 7.
Great.
Ah, wow, that's low.
So you got 1 success. You got 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
1 success.
Great. You both actually. You both are still going to
Oh.
take 4 mental stress.
Oh shit! Nat ones are
You
2
went 2?
successes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I only
then
got
that's
1.
3.
How do you? Is that just stress?
Yeah. If it's not delineated, then yeah, it's just stress.
Shit.
4.
4.
Shit.
Other systems have to have separate things.
I mean, this defines between physical and mental, and I think it just has to do with flavor ways that you can recover it. But that was horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the two of you, technically, like, you're not soldiers. You're resistance fighters. That was wild. That was beyond horrific. And everyone is just sort of stunned in silence. You've seen what mustard gas does to people.
Yeah.
You've seen all of your friends and acquaintances get mowed down.
I say whoa. That's
Yeah.
about the extent.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you saw it coming a little bit. Not exactly that, but like you were taking the temperature more than anybody else.
Yeah.
You were hearing what was being said, and there is clearly some disconnect between these two groups. And
Yeah.
apparently that disconnect is great enough that these men in these black coats, this black sun, is willing to take down their own side
Mm-hmm.
to protect whatever it is that they're doing. And whatever it is that they're doing, you're going to have to look into
Yeah.
next week. Thank you, friends, for joining us on this first round of Achtung Cthulhu. I'm going to have to do some strong rewriting because not because anything is bad, but because this is a very very dense and chunky starter set, and we only gave ourselves 2 episodes to do this. Which at the time I was like, oh, this will be fine. It'll be so quick, and I was like, I forgot we like to roleplay. That was a bad choice. It's fine. Tune in next week as we will come back and see what fresh hell this war brings. Let me go to my actual outro screen so that I can read all of the. Nope, never mind. I will not go. There it is. Has to wake
Just
up.
took a second.
I just have to wake up my remote. But thank you all for joining us. Upcoming schedule. On Mondays, we are here with Starter Set Summer School. Next week, we will do the conclusion of Achtung Cthulhu. Following that, on August 11th, we are going to do 1 session of Alien, the role-playing game, which Tiana Wren is going to run, and you're going to see some familiar faces playing that. That is also going to be horror, but horror in space.
In space.
Kill the android.
And then on
I have to figure out who it is.
And then on August 18th and 25th, we will have 2 episodes of Candela Obscura from Darrington Press, which will be run by our very own Cal, who you've seen as Sloane in Golden Vault, as Nox in Fendelver and Below, and who has only graced this DM chair once before, so we're very excited for that.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, on Saturdays, we did postpone Rune Quest for a bunch of scheduling and gear-related reasons, but to your benefit, that means that the Great Dane Society will return this Saturday, August 2nd, with Horror on the Orient Express. We are in the home stretch as everyone plunges toward madness and suffering, and I don't remember exactly where we left off, but I think it was a double cliffhanger, question mark?
I was making a deal with Baba Yaga.
That's one. I know other people did things too. But anyway, rejoin us for that. I think we are hoping that that's going to wrap up by the end of the year. So get it now. And I'm telling you now, so you've still got time to catch up on those last few episodes that you haven't watched. Lastly, we are going to stick around here for a little while longer for our After Dark or our after school extracurriculars or detention, depending on which GM you ask. These are normally reserved for our Patreon patrons, but because this is all about learning and we are doing summer school, we are going to do it right here live for you on Twitch. So stick around. If you have questions about this scenario, about this system, about anybody else, anything else, go ahead and drop those in the chat. We're going to go to a slate really quick. We might do some musical chairs or go use the bathroom, and then we're just going to come back and start chatting for a little while. So stick around and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.
This is basically the arc of it, right? Like they cannibalize themselves from the inside eventually.
I mean, sure.
Over a long
As old fascists.
Hello, now we are live. So we're gonna rewind our conversation 2 seconds and repeat what we just said. So our landing point was the end of Act 1 of this starter set. This starter set is divided into 3 acts. Each act is 5 scenes, very dramatic structure style, which is actually a really lovely way to break it down.
Yeah.
There was a world in which I hoped that we were going to reach that point before the break, and we were going to do Acts 1 and 2 in this session. That did not happen.
Yeah, fights always take longer, especially when you're learning how to run a combat system. Like, that's just kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Is there an open Monday?
No, we would have to steal.
okay.
We would have to steal Alien.
Okay.
And I've already booked people, so we're not doing that.
Don't do
I mean,
that.
if people are available on another day of the week and we want to try to squeeze in a third session, we just got to decide. We could do that. I am down. I do go into rehearsals very soon, though, so
Oh, jeez.
that's why we're doing it on these 2 Mondays. That's why I'm here for these 2 Mondays.
We just speed run the.
I mean, that's basically what we're going to have to do.
I mean, also depending on people's availability, we can talk about this part off camera, but like if we think we could like start a little earlier / go a little later just to buy us more time, we can talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, this is Achtung Cthulhu. I am less good at explaining rules as I go as Christy. Christy did a really wonderful job with Star Trek of like having all of the explanations of how the system works really set up, and I to be perfectly honest, for a lot of reasons that I don't need to publicly air on the internet, I was not able to prep to do that as well as I could have. But on the other side, from the perspective of this being starter set summer school, a lot of these starter sets, not necessarily this one, I don't want to shade this one in any way it's not meaning to. A lot of starter sets claim that you can just open up the box and go.
Sure.
So that even your GM doesn't necessarily have to prepare that everything's in the book. And this is a really good test of whether or not that is true. I think there are a lot of things in here and the way it is laid out that are really good. And it does explain, like, I love that it details, there's a section in part 2 where there's a scene where, like, you guys have the nighttime to do things, and it gives examples of, like, here is a scene that could happen with each of the pre-generated characters. And it's something that is based on their specific skill sets. and what they might be doing that you can kind of steer them into. And I think for like a new GM or a new set of players that maybe aren't as accustomed to like role play or as accustomed to investigation or things like that, I think that's actually really helpful because even having read that going into this first part, having that kind of thought of like, okay, what is the individual way that each of these characters functions, I think was really cool and really helpful. I will say that my constant frustration is just a lot of the really important information is laid out very well, and then there's a couple of things that are extremely important information where the consequence of neglecting it pops up in a like, this is what happens. I did this earlier. There is a thing, and it's a like, if somebody doesn't do this, take note of it for this thing later. And I was like, when did they even learn that that was a thing that they needed to do? And I had to go back and like hunt, and I was like, oh, it's not in any way highlighted. It's just in like normal paragraph text. So if I'm just skimming for like, what are my hit points? Like as the GM, like what are the things that I absolutely need to hit? That needs to be in bold somewhere. That needs to be highlighted as like, this has a mechanical consequence.
In a little box, like I see here upside down.
Yeah. There's a lot of, this is the thing, the layout of this, there are a lot of these really great boxes.
I actually want to talk about something in here.
There's a lot of these really great little boxes about like, this is when you bring in this effect, you know, like discovered. This is what happens if you guys get caught. Like when you're trying to sneak through if the patrol catches you or whatever. And then there's like GM tip, the opposed test, because this is a point where you're likely to run into opposed rolls. And so this is how it works.
I love that scene is called Square of Slaughter or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ.
the scene titles are like actually like really really good for a lot of these. There is a scene in Act 2 called "Sheep in Wolves' Clothing." Like there's some
what that could mean.
There's some really good stuff. You have a thing you want to talk about in rules. I know wanted to talk about the consequences mechanic.
Yeah. I was looking over the character sheet and I was like, what does armor do? And I looked it up. Armor reduces the amount of stress that you take.
Correct.
So we'll need to remember that for the future.
Oh.
Because I would have taken 2 less stress when I got shot, for example.
In the vicious, we deal 1 more.
Yes.
Yeah. And it ignores like armor and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely kind of soft pedaled on armor and on the types of the salvos. Some of that was just me forgetting about those features, honestly. That's my bad.
I'm still not super clear on salvos. So you only get like 3 of them per combat, but you activate them outside of your normal like shooting.
So your ammo is your spell slots.
Okay.
Your salvo is the type of damage you do. Mm-hmm. So if I'm a sorcerer and I have 3 spell slots and I'm casting Chaos Bolt, and then I get to pick which type of damage I can do, that's what that is. So you use an ammo to fire your weapon, and your salvo says what kind of damage or extra effect it does.
Oh.
Based on your type of weapon.
I see.
If you do not have a salvo type for your weapon, you just generically do damage.
Okay.
But if you have a salvo, like I know Jordan has a lot of piercing options. And so the piercing ability
it bypasses armor.
bypasses armor.
And cover.
And cover.
Okay.
Some of your new weapons that you pick up have the vicious, which means that you add 1 to the total stress after you roll it.
Got it.
So that's what that is. It's basically, if you're equivalating it to Dungeons and Dragons, it's your spell slots and your damage type.
Got it. Because when I hear salvo, I think this is when you are emptying the clip in order to get this effect.
No, this is why I was fighting really hard on the like, you can't think about this in terms of how weapons actually work. You have to think about it in terms of the way they have been streamlined for the game.
It was less that and more this is my normal attack and this is my special attack with this weapon was how my brain was doing it.
Okay, no, that also makes sense.
Yeah, so it was like, you don't really count ammunition for your normal attack, you're just shooting, but salvo you actually have to keep track of in my brain.
The way they do it is just ammo is the number of times you can fire your gun, because they don't want you having to track like every single bullet. So they've kind of streamlined it. The idea is like flavor wise, you're firing in bursts or in single shots according to your weapon, according to your magazine. But for the purposes of your tracking, they've simplified it down. Which I think is actually very smart. I actually like it a lot. I'm just running it poorly in that respect.
I did not read it in advance, so I didn't understand that.
Clearly, neither did I.
There's life.
It's worded pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't like complications.
I
want random tables of effects that happen because of consequences. So if you get 1 consequence, you can roll on this table. It's not so bad. 2 consequences you roll on this table. 3 or 4, and it like
You
different
don't-
tables.
Okay.
You don't.
But-
You don't want to be able to narratively apply it to the situation. You want it to just be a list?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
This you got 2. What was it? What was it called? Consequences.
Complication.
Complications. Sorry. You're like in the middle of a field, and then all of a sudden something explodes. He's like, "That's what the table says."
See,
you turn into a plant. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
and I like the concept of the mechanics. It is hard to sometimes figure out how to apply it. The thing that I was
fun part.
struggling with tonight was just the like figuring out what it means when you roll that many complications. And this is where I actually did take a page out of Christie's book, because we had a couple of instances with Star Trek where we didn't introduce any stress, but we rolled a bunch of complications in one shot, and we were like, what does this mean? And it's like, it kind of doesn't matter as long as it feels escalatively appropriate. If you can roll 6 consequence die and you get 6 complications, I'm like, okay, just make sure that's a really intense complication. Like, I think all of our, like, when you got 3, it was like my gun jams.
Yeah.
I was like, that actually feels about right.
Yeah.
You know, you don't shoot yourself in the
big deal.
foot. You don't shoot, like you didn't get 5 where you shot your friend or you shot yourself.
Yeah.
But, like, you are going to have to spend time. You're going to have to spend your action on your next turn fixing that or do something else. And I'm like, that makes sense. Versus, like, a single complication is like, I tripped, and so now I'm going to lose some of my movement, or, I can't aim as well. Like, I think it's nice to be able to narratively scale it. I do hear you on the, like, having to constantly think of what it is can be fatiguing potentially, but I like that it is adaptable to the situation, because
For me, it's a Cthulhu on the die. That should be horrible, right? Not just, it's a minor thing. It should be like, you rolled a Cthulhu, you lose a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not scale well, though.
It
I
doesn't.
mean,
Like,
well, but like, I mean, this is clearly a lot more deadly than I think even standard Call of Cthulhu, at least the way we play it. Definitely more deadly than a lot of the fantasy systems. That's one of the things that I was talking about. Is like, healing literally says, like, you recover stress when time passes based on kind of the scene, and I'm having to scale that with something like, because we're always complaining about the long rest heals all ills,
Yeah.
which I have to say, it didn't make it into the show, but I got to hear the final read of sketches for Killing a Love's Legends and Laughter, which is a D&D themed comedy sketch show that's happening later. We'll shill it more. Laura Domingo wrote a brilliant sketch about long rests and how they heal everything, and I don't think it made it into the final cut, but it was very good. I love you, Laura.
It's just that, I fell 100 feet, but it's nothing
Yes.
good.
But
a
like,
night
for
of
me,
sleep can
like,
fix.
I was really having to scale this idea because, like, you guys still, like, 5 stress still equals 1 injury. You all as PCs have the ability to take more injuries than my NPCs do. But, like, I still, like, at least 2 of you took up to 5 stress, and I'm like, okay, you got shot with a bullet. You're not going to die, but you also can't sleep that off. Like, you're going to have to retain that stress for a while.
Is there an injury table?
No. Not in here, anyway.
Only a day's pass.
Why do you need an injury table? You know what the injury is. You got shot with a bullet from a gun. What is the injury table that you are seeking, sir?
That bullet's still in there.
I think what I would want to see in here, because specifically because of how they reference something in here under injuries, is a different physical stress and mental stress, because they specifically say if an agent is defeated and has more physical injuries than mental ones, they are also dying.
Yeah.
That tells me there should be 2 tracks for mental and physical damage.
Yeah, and I realized that because I think in reading the GM's guide, I think I saw the differentiation, and I don't think I clocked that on the sheets there is not a differentiation. Right. And so that's something that we maybe need to look into, of like, I need to look into before next week, of just like, is there meant to be like tracking that in 2 different ways, so that you're looking at your total, but you're also looking at what category it's in, because again, like, mental stress seems like something where like you might be able to recover that faster, like if you're adapted to violence like our war vet is, or if you can meditate, or you can go to I'm thinking in terms of like kind of the Delta Green thing, like you can meditate, you can go to therapy, you can do downtime, and that's going to help you recover sanity, versus like you're out in the field with only like field medical care. It's going to take longer for a bullet wound to heal than it would if you were in a fully kitted hospital with 24/7 care.
I picked up this thing in the First War. It's called opium. To make you forget everything.
Don't test me. I will add in drug mechanics where it's like you get like temporary, you get a temporary resolve, but there's going to be consequences later. The other thing that I think of, we're talking about like the injury table though, like I'm like, we don't need an injury table because it's not about how you got hurt. We know how you got hurt. You got shot with a bullet from a gun. But Deadlands has a really great, I'm constantly singing the praise of Deadlands. Deadlands actually has a really great table of how it tracks, like, based on what you roll for the damage indicates how extreme of a wound that is. And like, where it's the difference between, like, you got grazed, you got hit in a limb, you got hit in your core, you got a headshot. But it also has a similar healing table that determines, like, based on the severity of your injuries, how long it takes you to heal. And I think that's the thing that's missing is a, like, I need a better sense of how much time does an injury take to heal based on the type of injury, or how much we can do it quantifiably, like if you have this much stress it takes this much time to heal, and then you can flavor it. But something like that beyond just by the next scene, because I'm like, well, you guys had a scene and then you guys waited 6 hours until dusk to go thing. That's not enough time to heal a bullet wound. I'll let you get a chance to like rest and get like better patched up than the field dressing, but like you still have active injury.
They need to be very clear about it. Like maybe if you're at a certain amount of physical stress, here's how long you need to wait before the next scene in order to be fully up again.
Yeah.
End to end, how long should the campaign last in-game time? A week? A few days?
Well, and
With this, it sounds like it's like 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
well, I mean that's the thing.
The fact that you're letting us recover stress.
Yeah. I suppose technically, like, Scene 2 is the scene where you talk to Lieutenant Strang and he gives you the mission. Technically, the top of Scene 3 reads, when the agents are ready to embark, they make their way east. And I'm like, okay, conceptually, then if you were like, okay, like, let's take a couple days. But also, like, realistically, given the way I've seen all of you guys play games, you aren't gonna sit and wait for a week before going on the mission after having just been jumped by soldiers who all then, for some reason, retreated when they clearly had the upper hand. I absolutely had fewer soldiers in that fight than there were supposed to be. There are supposed to be 3 NPC soldiers for every 2 of you. There should have been 6 in that fight. 6 individual in that fight, and I only used the lower stat block. There's technically a stat block that is 1 notch higher difficulty, and I did not even use that one because I was like, this is not. I'm not trying to TPK you. I'm trying to teach you how combat works.
Yeah, this is definitely a starter set that is not if you want to get all of it, not a short run thing. Like that tutorial combat could have been the whole of a session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again,
which is fine. Like if you really want to take time to immerse into the details, that's fine.
Well, and again, for a fresh out of the box where it's like Ray and I have a little bit of experience with this system because we just played Star Trek, but we're all still basically new.
Yeah.
So I think in that respect, like taking our time to talk through, like, these are the options you have, these are the things you can do. And I think there's a lot of really good flavor and explanation of like what to roll for what and how to guide your agents through things that is very much geared for not people who professionally stream TTRPGs on the internet and are used to doing hardcore storytelling. Like, it is very good for your home group where you're like, hey guys, let's play a game that gives you that structure. Like, I want to give that a lot of credit. There's actually like a lot of really good content in this book. I struggle with the way certain elements of it are laid out. I keep running into like, if they talk to this NPC, then blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, when did they talk? Who is this NPC? Where did they show up? When did they talk to them?
Bold names.
Bold names. Yeah, like bold the name of the NPC the first time they show up so that I know where and who they are. It's just, Oh no, it's a little goofy. That's more of a like formatting thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's
But those are stumbling blocks.
And formatting is a huge aspect of like how you handle rules. And I mean, realistically, even if this was a home game, how much time do people have to like sit and read through things with a normal life and normal job?
I mean, every board game review has a how are the rules?
yes.
You know, are they clear? Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably more self-conscious of how much time I spend looking at the rules because I know that we're doing it for an audience. At the same time, that is one of the only things that keeps this from being a 9-hour session that only gets as far as we got tonight, because every time I have to stop and look at a rule, everyone pulls out their phones and starts sharing memes. And the fact that it's like, you have to focus because we're playing on a timer,
Right.
you know, and that also, like, you all know that I'm much more about, like, I'm trying really hard to play rules, lawyer, and mechanics because we're learning a new system. I am also going to be the first person who says, screw it, sure, that works, because I just want to move on, right? And, like, at the end of the day, at some point, momentum, both your chips and the, like, concept will be more important. The storytelling will be more important. Because there's, like, really fun, really funny scenes that we get to potentially play out, and I don't want to just railroad it with not getting to do that. But it's just this is much more a war game.
Yeah.
Because of the setting. Like, it's literally a war game. And so there is a certain amount of the mechanics are actually the really important thing.
Although, with that being said, I'll say that these mechanics probably fit Star Trek a lot better than they did the Second World War.
Correct.
And,
I agree.
I think that's what I'm struggling with right now. I mean, not struggling, right?
No, but the thing that feels like a disconnect.
Right, because, I mean, again, not for nothing, but I am personally coming at this more from the war game perspective. I mean, we were talking about minimum and maximum ranges for fucking certain types of ammunition, right? Like, that's where my head's at. And to jump into all this, the transition was easier to make with Star Trek just because I think conceptually, right, the mechanics really flowed into the kind of mood and vibe and aesthetic that, you know, Star Trek, the franchise, is all about. Here, I'm just like, eh.
Well, and I think the idea here, like, I set up for the players when I sent out a thing of, like, I want the humor of this game to come from real people having to cope with impossible situations. I don't want it to just be us doing bits because I want it to feel real and I want it to feel horror-y. But also within the feel real, like, this is meant to be a pulp system. It's supposed to play like an action movie. And so there's a certain amount of, like, I want you guys to just do cool shit. Like, you know, like, the benchmarks I think I gave were Indiana Jones, the opening scene of Hellboy, and Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the vibe, is the, like, going in and doing impossible shit and just being really badass at it. There is a certain amount of the mechanics tripping us up on that just because we're still learning them. I think those will get smoother now that we're in the vibe. I also think there's a certain amount of just, like, rolling the way that we did in the first combat made it really hard to be cool pulp heroes because we're like, I can't hit anything for shit.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I have this problem with Call of Cthulhu as well, with the place where pulp meets the horror of Cthulhu. Tonally, I have a hard time with how those two mix, and that's nothing to do with you or even us. I have a hard time making those work in my head.
Which I hear, and I also think is very funny because Lovecraft's actual writing is pure pulp fiction by definition.
Yeah, it's very, very dime novel, penny dreadful kind of thing. But
well, yes, like, I'm going to call you on that. Pulp fiction is a different genre from penny dreadful and from dime novels. They all exist kind of in similar worlds, but they are actually extremely different genres by the, like, core definitions of them. This is my English nerd showing. But I think Cthulhu is very well suited to pulp. I think I am not setting that up well. But, you know, again...
Or
like,
maybe I have different expectations of pulp basic than you do.
Maybe. You know, because I think the bizarre nature of, like, weird shit just happens and people go, yup, that's the Elder Ones, is very pulp, like, at its heart. That is trying to add realism into a Cthulhu scenario is actually where I hit more of the disconnect. Much in the same way of, like, a classic joke in one of my current D&D home games is that we have one character who is automatically like, he's like, we live in a world where magic is real. Obviously ghosts exist. Anything can happen. The gods talk to us. They all suck. I'm going to shoot God in the face. Like, you know, like that's their whole thing where they're like, why would you be confused about the idea? Because one of the other PCs is a ghost. And everyone's like making jokes about a fake seance. And they're like, no, obviously, like, of course she could be a ghost. And also the seance can be fake. I could literally summon heat into my hand through the will of my force of being. Of why makes you think a ghost couldn't be around?
Well, maybe that's where I'm finding the disconnect is because we as characters, we don't have that. We don't know that we're walking into a scenario where the Elder Ones are real.
You do. You grew up in a cult. You've got a friend who does magic.
Yes.
Oh.
But that's Commander Kelly.
Commander Kelly can do magic.
Oh.
But from what I understand, how things have been set up, we are not told that you are in this secret war. Yeah. We are finding that out over the course of this mission.
Sure.
Have I seen Commander Kelly do magic?
I'm gonna say everybody's seen Commander Kelly at least do some weird shit. You can decide for yourself if your character has accepted that it's magic or not, but...
He's sending us on suicide missions. The guy can do magic. That's crazy.
I mean, he can't do a lot of magic. He has one spell. That's just more magic than anybody else.
Right.
That makes him a god.
It definitely does not. He can do one. He has a spell called the Gaze of Baelor. He pulls on the endless screams that the endless nightmares that plague him and plants them into a new host to force them to confront ethereal horrors from beyond the veil.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's actually part of why even though he has the cat, I decided I didn't want to play him.
Motherly guilt is what it's called.
Because I didn't want to deal with magic.
Yeah. It is magic in any system like this is tricky. Specifically in like Cthulhu mythos-based systems, magic is always tricky because there is a significantly higher human cost because mankind is not meant to do magic, and the fact that mankind has accessed magic is part of what has allowed the eldritch horrors to seep into our world, right? So like it is supposed to be hard. It is not supposed to be easy to access. I was glad that they included a PC that can do magic, but I was also surprised by it because it is traditionally very hard, and if you're used to like Call of Cthulhu or Delta Green, getting to the point of being a character who can actively do magic is extremely difficult and usually results in you dying very quickly. Dying or going mad.
Usually going mad. Very bad idea. Don't do it.
But yeah, so anyway, that's a lot of ramble. I haven't seen any major questions in the chat, and that's fine.
Injuries should be like exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think that makes more sense. Like, again, a table of like, depending on how severe, how much stress you have, this is how long it takes to recover, or...
They do have a fatigue mechanic.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yes,
that is exhaustion versus injury. I think the other thing that I think hangs us up a little bit sometimes is just the difference in the language of it. Because every system tries to change their language a little bit to be unique to their system, and sometimes that is for like proprietary, like copyrightable, trademarkable reasons, and sometimes it's because they're trying to be cool, and I'm like, don't be cool, just use the terms everyone knows, don't reinvent the wheel.
I think the I don't remember the specifics, but Freelancer, we did that sort of that RPG that was kickstarted. I feel like they had injuries, but that was
possibly
mechanically implemented rather than just narratively spoken about.
Yeah. Well, and I think that is, I think, in general something I want. That's why I keep shouting out Deadlands, because that is a system that I'm familiar with that very explicitly has that. When I ran a Deadlands short shot, like, I had a character get stabbed or clawed like in the gut, and it was rolled bad enough. This is one of those, like, you're a human, you have 6 HP, that did 5 damage, you are bleeding internally in your stomach. That is you are in a mine in the middle of like Montana. You are not going to survive that without immediate medical care or magic. And none of you are doctors in this game. Spoiler, it was magic.
I was gonna say, well, if medicine's out.
Yeah, spoiler, somebody did have magic. He survived that campaign. He actually came out the best of that campaign, ironically. I love you, Mark.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Mark's character. There's a lot to like about the D20 system. I like the pool systems. I like the momentum mechanic. I like the concept of the threat mechanic. I will say I can't use the amount of threat that I have. The difficulties are already like set. They're not actually set that high, but I'm like, the way things are rolling and the way you guys are not using momentum, which is also because you're not gaining momentum as quickly. Right. Like that's not just a knock. That's just a like the way the cycle is going. I am choosing to not use threat in places where I probably should be, because I feel like it actually makes it too difficult. There's also, just based on the scenario, like this whole thing like really wants you to potentially get into combat if you fuck up too many stealth checks or whatever, right? And I was like, I'm going to try to make this easier. Specifically, narratively, I wanted to get you guys to the big climactic moment because that's actually really important for setting you on your path of discovering the Eldritch Horrors. So I was always going to make it easier for you guys to stumble into the square and find the thing. But like, that is really tricky because it's like, I feel like you need to be able to, like, I don't know, get more information as you go. I feel like it should be harder for you guys to make it there if you're not stealthing, but also like it literally says there's 108 of these black coats, these black sun guys, and 36 healer troopers. Like, if somebody raises the alarm, you guys are just immediately dead.
Yeah.
That is too many guns for you to survive.
Especially with the way this bloody ammo system's working with. It's really rubbing me the wrong way, I gotta tell you, right? Like, conceivably only 3 attacks per combat
per weapon.
scenario? Per weapon. Okay, so that gives me 6.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think it works better than we're implementing it conceptually.
Okay.
I also think that you're coming off of the Star Trek thing where it's phasers.
Oh yeah, and
So,
there's no ammunition.
There's no ammunition. So like, I can see why your brain might be like hitting that one really hard.
It's also like, how much inventory management are you doing, right? Also, I think the other thing too, and this is something that I just need to look at, is how are the weapons structured as far as in D&D, we would think of it as like cleave rules. If you roll so good or you roll enough damage, you can finish off the guy you're swinging at and then swing into the next guy. If you guys are firing bursts, if everything is designed as you're firing bursts, if you do enough stress to take somebody down, like I would carry over additional stress to the next person, like you're firing off a burst of bullets, and so you're hitting multiple targets. Conceptually, I don't think it makes any sense. Like, if I'm firing it, I'm not gonna, unless I'm doing a spray and pray, I'm gonna fire at the one guy until he's down and then move to the next target. Yeah. So it doesn't make a difference if I'm tracking my burst shot or if I'm just counting it as one turn of shooting, right? But it's a nitty-gritty thing. It's like, it's a how much inventory management are you doing? And I think it is a different thing to get used to. The thing that worked for me was thinking of it in terms of spell slots. Yeah. You know, these are my spell slots, and then I have to use my knife.
You realize.
Oh, did you just realize that the Black Sun...
I was thinking of a different Black Sun. Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the Schwarz Sun...
All right, it's late. We should wrap it up.
Yes.
Yeah, we have call times at 7.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Normally I check in and I forgot, nobody said anything. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us. Come back next week and hopefully we'll have remembered how the rules work on this game. And if you don't enjoy that, come back in 2 weeks and see a totally different system where we will know the rules. Or not.
That's a high bar.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. Good night, friends.